starring Diddy, Ray Lewis, Arian Foster. The big three.
The big three. Motherfuck the big three.
It's just big meat.
Bow. Yeah.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. What's up, party people? It is Thursday. It's April 25th. It's draft day today. My life is about to change. You know, they make all this hoopla about, oh, Caleb Williams this, Jaden Daniels, congratulations, young man. Your life's about to be totally different. Fuck that. My life is about to change because I finally have a quarterback today, and I'm very happy, and I'm no longer a loser.
What if it's J.J. McCarthy?
It's not going to be J.J. McCarthy. If it's J.J. McCarthy, I'm going to have to...
Oh, the Commanders got the number one pick?
Number two.
Who are they going to get?
Probably Jaden Daniels. If they get J.J. McCarthy, I think what I'll have
Daniels
to...
went to
LSU. Heisman Trophy.
Oh.
I think what I'll have to do is just take on all of J.J. McCarthy's habits to make myself not depressed.
Yeah, just Google.
I'll have to Google it. I'll have to meditate. I'll have to take my shoes off every morning, stand on the grass, cold plunge. That will be how I will cope with drafting J.J. McCarthy.
You ain't got no insider information on where they're leaning?
My insider information says Caleb Williams will be a Bear. And then Jaden Daniels will be...
Wait, what they doing with Justin Fields?
He'll be a football team. Oh, I love this. I love this.
I've got news for you.
We get to break news to Arian Foster. As of like 2 months ago, Justin Fields is on the Steelers.
He's at the Steelers?
He's a Steeler. So they got Russell
Wilson on the...
That's correct.
God damn.
Interesting, right? What do you think they gave up for Justin Fields?
Probably nothing if they got rid of him like that.
Yeah, it was like, what, 6th-round pick, something like that?
I think.
Yeah. What other news can we break to Arian? Oh, I think we said this actually on Monday's show, so you know it. Zach Wilson, Denver Broncos.
This is actually, you probably do know this because it happened today, but did you see the college football news today?
Oh, Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so stupid that it happened in the first place, that it's not celebratory. And I hate to be the, come on, man, it's a good day, don't do that. But everybody's celebrating it when, in fact, we should be like, there's so much other things you have to restore now since you opened that door. Ohio State team.
Yeah.
All the other bullshit that you put people through. There's been thousands of kids that you banned and you fucked their lives over because they got a free meal, a ride, whatever the case may be. So you got to start doing restorative justice. Will they do that? No. But it opened Pandora box in my mind to start really going back and doing the right thing.
Well, the problem is, that's all the NCAA, who will never admit that it was wrong and never do stuff like that. This was the Heisman Trust, which is separate, so they could give it back.
This is what I'm saying. It's just, there's no central, and this is why I've always hated the NCAA, like nobody is over them. They just do their own thing. The Heisman Trust should have never even, I told, Reggie was on my old podcast, and when he told me, he's like, yeah, I gave them the Heisman Trophy. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you even give it to him?
He did it voluntarily.
Yeah, he gave it to him.
It was low-key his fault.
Yes. Like, dog, I told him this. I was like, dog, if that was mine, they'd have to walk to my house
100%
and grab it from me. Like, what do you, I won this shit. Come get it.
They need to send like a SWAT team in to get that trophy out.
Yeah, good luck. And like, I didn't understand why he did it in the first place. But the fact that they did it, it's just, if you played college sports, and I remember when I was in the league, and I may have told the story before, but I was in the league, and I came out and said I took money under the table at Tennessee. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? And like a lot of Tennessee fans still don't like me because of that. But I was doing this talk at Harvard with Larry Fitzgerald and Richard Sherman, and the news broke around that time. And Fitz was like, "Man, what are you doing, Foss? Like, why would you do that? You fucking it up for the younger cats." And I'm like, "No, you are." And I was like, "Dog, if you say it, if Reggie Bush said it, if Vince Young said it, because we all know we got shit under the table. It's not even close to it. But if everybody said it, what is the NCAA going to do? Going to ban every season that has ever existed? No. They're going to change the rules.
Yeah.
Because this is their product. I was like, y'all not standing on this is what's fucking it up. Me coming out and saying it, it's just being, it's living my truth. But also it's like, why are we playing this game? Mm-hmm. Get these younger cats. I'm trying to get the younger cats paid and y'all are hiding it.
Yeah.
And the tables have turned now, but You take all the bullets early.
Well, that's what happened.
Mhm.
That's why we got NIL is because they realized that they can't control
They
this.
can't hide it.
They
anymore.
can't hide it, so we might as well just try to regulate it if we can.
Shout out Ed O'Bannon.
Yeah, Ed O'Bannon did. He was like the main cause behind getting all these rules changed. He had several lawsuits. We actually talked about it on the show, I think.
Yeah,
but-
these young kids who don't know who Ed O'Bannon is. All these kids getting millions of dollars in collegiate sports. Oh, Ed O'Bannon, everything.
10%.
I'll be okay with that.
Be the agent.
I'll be
yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he ended up like, I don't know what his NBA career prospects were going to look like, but he completely tanked his reputation with the powers that be, anybody that controlled any of the purse strings, and so he became like a person, was it persona non grata, and just kind of pushed to the side because he was looked at as being litigious, somebody that's upsetting the apple cart, shaking things up, and so yeah, he didn't have much of an athletic career after that, but yeah, he got shit done. So shout out to him. Now I do think it would be funny though to go back and look at all the stupid shit the NCAA has done over the years and see which retroactive justice needs to happen first. Like Bruce Pearl gets his hamburgers back in Tennessee. Bruce Pearl back to Tennessee.
Well, the problem was that he continued to lie about it. That's what really fucked him. But yeah, that's an all-time dumbass story.
The tattoos is a huge one too.
Ohio State.
That was such a big deal when it happened.
Yeah.
Like that was story number one for weeks. Was Ohio State players may have gotten free tattoos in exchange for their jerseys.
Which
It's
is
like
a great barter.
It's like these sons of bitches. I can't believe that. Jim Tressel, he got fired over that basically.
I would argue that was them paying for them.
Yeah.
You would think a tattoo parlor in Columbus, if Terrell Pryor was going in, they'd be like, yeah, we'll just do it for free, whatever.
Well, that's the other thing is I don't know if those jerseys technically belong to them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's some sort of...
That's bananas.
Yeah.
I 2009, my first year in the league, I wanted to trade. This was before jersey swapping was like a real thing. And so I asked my dude who I play with, Gerard Mayo, who's the head coach now. I was like, yo, let's swap. And he was like, oh, man, I don't know if I can. I'm like, what? Why? He was like, Robert Kraft, he's like, he don't really like they're his. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? You're just sweating it, dog. Like, that's your jersey. He's like, all right, man, I'll do it. But he was like super reluctant to do it. I'm like, give me your jersey, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
That's very weird. I know that some of those game worn jerseys can go for a lot of money too.
Yeah, I got 3 trash bags full in my closet.
I know when you did that video where you were putting them all down.
That shit went viral.
Because it was awesome. It was like a little time capsule of the early 2010s and all the best players.
You don't have those like framed or anything?
Nope. They're sitting in 3 garbage bags in a secret room in my house.
Be a pretty sick, like in your studio or wherever, if you just had 30 framed like all those jerseys.
It would be dope, but I don't know. I don't like if somebody were to break in my house, they'd be like, "The football players live here." Like, I have no memorabilia up. I have nothing.
What would they think? Who would they think lived there?
A single man.
Twitch streamer?
Yeah.
Because you got a pretty good
A single
studio.
man that likes video games
Yeah.
and golf.
Hey, what about you, Big T? Somebody breaks into your apartment.
There is a corner of my apartment that it's very clear that I live there. I'll see. I have a picture. I'll show
Does
you.
it look like this corner right here?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's better. I'll show you.
Billy, now, if somebody broke into Billy's apartment, they'd be like, oh, Billy Football lives here.
Probably
There-
smell
so-
like feet and
There is a Billy Football that lives here.
smell like feet in January 6th.
In my,
It smells like Liberty. That's a good
I got
point, Big
one
T.
room.
That was it.
My bachelor pad though, that was pretty sweet.
That was Billy territory?
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. My favorite part of Billy's old apartment was Ben Mentz's apartment. Going in and checking that out. And there's like,
Why is Ben Menz doing basketball drills out there right
I
now?
don't ask any questions. I walk
What's he
in.
doing?
Well, I'm talking about literal, and somebody's running them through it. It's like, all right, let's do a pump fake and drive through getting your 3-point or what is it, the 3
Triple threat.
He said getting your triple threat. You jab and you go over your left, and I'm like, I'm sitting here watching this, drinking water, like, what the fuck is going on? Why is he got a jersey on and some more shit?
Did you see his?
It might be for an ad or something.
It's Tate is teaching him, who's like
Oh.
his old job was a high school girls basketball coach. So I think it's like a new series possibly.
Did you see Ben Mintz's frat composite that just dropped?
That was wild.
I did not.
Oh, hold on, let me send it.
Yeah, please send that over. No, I've learned that just when I walk in, I see Ben Mintz doing any sort of weird activity, just keep your head down. He's got a plan. He always has a plan.
Hold on. Look at this. I'm sending it in the group chat right now. It looks like mints, but it doesn't at all.
Let's see.
It looks so much like mints. Are you kidding?
Holy shit.
It looks like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, that's so good.
Wait,
That's
you're saying this
crazy.
isn't him?
That is Ben Mintz. That's his frat composite.
What's a composite?
It's so every year a fraternity or sorority, you take basically like a yearbook picture, and your sorority or fraternity basically has every single person that's in the chapter that year in this big frame.
Right.
So then you can like walk through and every year be like, this is who is in our sorority, and then it has like your executive position. So it's like, this was president, this was vice president, this was whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those. Okay,
Yeah.
when you say composite, I thought it was like from all 4 years they take all
No.
4 pictures and merge them into one or something.
No.
Yeah, that's Ben. That's definitely Ben. Great haircut, great tie. Honestly, I'm shocked that the tie is so well tied.
Yeah.
I had disheveled tie as minus 250 on the live odds on this. So cash it, underdog hit.
Was this during his like crazy phase?
Yes,
What is his crazy face?
his entire life.
Part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Act 1.
Act 1.
Act 1.
Yeah, Act 1 of his life. That was definitely an Act 1.
Okay.
Okay, today's episode is going to be on the history of sports drafts. Sports drafts across the board. I'm excited to talk about this stuff because it is draft day. But we have Billy's sheet to tackle this morning. Before we get to that, 5 biggest news stories going on. Number 1, Congress has passed a bill that could ban TikTok. So unless the controlling company of TikTok divests their interest to a company that is not owned by a hostile enemy of the United States, then they're going to have to shut it down. Did I get that right, Billy?
Yeah. I like the wording of this bill because it named the 5 countries. I think it's Russia, Belarus, China, North Korea, and Iran. Those are the only 5 countries that if they have a controlling stake in a company, they can ask them to divest. This is going to have huge implications with stuff like Smithfield Foods, one of the largest food processing, probably one of the largest companies that feed people in the United States that's owned by China. So, I mean, it's going to be huge. This is going to play into a lot.
Wait, the ham company is owned by China?
Yeah, we got to bring the bacon home. It's owned by China.
I did not know that. Is that a
Yeah.
recent thing?
Smithfield Bacon, yeah. I mean, it's been happening these last couple of years. The thing is, it's kind of like with NFL teams we're talking about, there's not enough American billionaires left to buy these teams. There might not be enough American companies that can like buy TikTok.
Yeah, so by the way, big come up for Belarus being included on that list, huh? And I know
Let
that
me-
they're on that list
Let me
because
specify if
they're
it's
pre-
on that list.
they're pretty much a satellite state
Yeah.
of Russia.
Their leader's like super crazy, right?
He's nuts. Yeah, he's a crazy dude. He's also like a Putin puppet. So that's when Russia was invading Ukraine, they put a bunch of their troops on the eastern border of Ukraine, and then they also sent a bunch up to Belarus in what they called like a training mission, so they could attack from kind of the north part too. And Belarus was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do whatever you say, Mr. Putin." So that's probably why they're on that list. But still, you're waking up this morning as the president of Belarus. You're probably pretty happy that you're included on this list.
Yeah, it's big.
Big dog. New axis of evil, Belarus.
No such thing as bad pub.
That's right. That's right. So a lot of people are upset about this. A lot of people are happy about it too. But this has been something in the works for a while. I feel like TikTok was going to be sold back in 2020 or 2019, right? This has been a bill that they've been working on for a while.
I'm an old man in the clouds. I'm yelling at the clouds with TikTok. I have no idea what's going on.
What does this mean for the youth? What are the youth going to do?
So
absolutely nothing.
I saw something interesting. So if it's actually banned, TikTok is largely left leaning. Am I correct in that statement?
I don't know.
It depends on what side
Yeah,
you're
I
on.
think it's really dependent upon. I think that it's probably relatively even, but like if you were on TikTok, you would see nothing but super leftist stuff.
Right. So because I watched this one segment on it, and this is I have no background on this, but there's like a very large swath of like youth that get their news from TikTok, right? So I'm not I'm not big into conspiracies, but like, what is the main purpose for banning TikTok? And this is who postulated this bill? I assume it's from the right.
Originally Trump, and now this is Biden that's pushing it through.
So Biden is doing it now.
Biden's doing it right now.
Okay, so it's bipartisan. From people who on both sides, right, Democrats and Republicans, are always talking about free speech. Like, what is their goal? What are they saying the reason is for?
The main reason is that it's owned by a Chinese company, and they're harvesting a lot of data, and whatever they're collecting from American consumers could be used for nefarious purposes, whether it's to find out more about where a certain type of people live in the United States, if the camera function is on, find out like what different people's houses even look like, or if it's somebody that is connected in government, then you have a little mini surveillance service in their phone. Like if there's a member of Congress that's using TikTok from their own personal device, then you can use that to tap into the other apps on their phone if they're good enough at hacking into shit and learn more about them.
Do the Chinese have TikTok? Are they allowed to use TikTok?
Yeah, but their TikTok's way different. It's like educational. It's not. They're trying to steer their youth in a certain direction. But like the real threat is like, let's say there is a ex-Chinese national or someone who's living in in like Chinatown in New York City, and they're on a Wi-Fi network that's shared by someone who has TikTok. And let's say this individual is donating to causes for, freedom of speech in China, for, not anti-government, but anti-authoritarianism in China. And the Chinese government is then able to pinpoint their internet activity and their donations to certain causes through the intrusive software of TikTok. Then they can coordinate where that person is. Then they can like maybe take action against them with, like, for example, there was a Chinese police station in Chinatown that was going after former Chinese nationals who were doing this exact same thing. So they could use it to go after U.S. citizens who are like trying to raise awareness to the oppression of the Chinese government.
Right.
That's like an example.
I think it's a good example, but I don't think that Congress would take this severe action against a company like that. It's kind of probably not unprecedented, but it's very rare that the government does something like this. I think it might be even bigger than the threat might be bigger than even what Billy's saying, which is just like a national security threat to the U.S. is what they're saying.
So are you saying that there's information that that's kind of unbeknownst to us that they're, I guess, fearing?
Yeah,
well,
yeah, exactly. And I have a good solution to this. Since Billy said, like, okay, TikTok it exists in China, why don't we just do swapsies, where they're allowed to own U.S. TikTok, but we're allowed to own Chinese TikTok, so we get to surveil all their shit over there.
Well, they're not gonna do that.
Well, they don't play fair.
Well, what would they prefer?
We do though.
Yep, we're the good guys.
We're the good guys.
Isn't that crazy?
But like, for example, we remember when I sent you the link of all the 911 shutdowns in the various states across the United States?
Yeah.
Like, that very well may have been a Chinese coordinated attack, akin to something that
What's your source on
was
that?
Alluding to.
What's your source on that?
There was attacks on the 911 call centers. Remember I sent it to you, and there was like, and then the FBI director, let me get his name right.
Ray.
Director Ray commented that, hey, we're about to get attacked by China in our infrastructure. We don't know how it's going to happen, and that just lines up right when something like that occurs. Like,
so do you know
how entrenched TikTok software is into our infrastructure and how much information it's gathered on, like Wi-Fi passwords to get into certain administrative softwares.
I'm skeptical about all this.
We don't know.
I don't know. I'm skeptical about all this because it sounds like propaganda. I think when I'm just listening to it, like, I don't know about this at all, so y'all may be correct, but it sounds like propaganda to me.
I don't know what features the Chinese company that owns. I think it's called, what is it,
ByteDance.
ByteDance. I don't know what features they have built into the app, if they have anything like backdoor ways to get into your phone or anything like that. But the concern is that if they did, then it would be a massive national security issue for us.
They have all your photos. Once you, like, for example, when you go allow Instagram to have access to all your photos, to have have TikTok have access to all your photos, they will go through all your photos for just data mining, number one.
Do they
but
go through the
also-
hidden album too?
I don't know.
Yeah, on
You
Snapchat,
nervous?
they definitely.
Nah, I mean, everything in there's
It's hidden.
it's hidden. It is what it is.
Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
not hidden. It's not
I don't
hidden.
know.
It's
I don't know
all,
what
it's
they
all
have,
it's all consensual fun.
I don't know what they have access to. I don't know what they have access to, but the
China
concern
has
is,
your nudes.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, they might.
Hey man,
Have fun.
Good for them.
I'll come out. I know I do.
So the law, if it's signed into law by Biden, it's going to give ByteDance 270 days to sell it, 9 months.
Oh, so that's not even 9 months from now. Doesn't even exist. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
9
it is
months,
fair.
or
I
it
mean,
could be extended
it
up
still
to a year.
exists, and they'll get compensation for having to divest. It's not like a nationalizing of TikTok where they're just taking it.
Yeah. Oh, Billy, let's I want to check in on another news story here that's not on the list because you reminded me about the link that you sent in the group chat. Do we have any more information about the person that you said was sodomized by Bernie Sanders in a basement on video? I want to see if that story held water because at the time I was just like, well,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
clicked
even-
in and read that,
I didn't click the
and
link.
I'm all for. Listen, I believe there is some pretty out there stuff happening in the government.
Mhm.
I was shocked that Billy. It was shocking to both to read and to see that someone thinks it's real.
yeah, I was shocked that Billy believed that. I was like,
I didn't believe it. I just sent it into the group chat.
Then why would you send it if you don't believe it?
Just to start conversation?
You wanna start a conversation about Bernie Sanders hypothetically raping a boy?
No, the thing is, I think it's actually has to do with his stance on Israel. And
you guys want to talk? You guys want to talk about this? I figured you guys.
No, like what? Where does this come from?
You
Yeah, so
It comes. You know what it is? Billy's been rug pilled.
What is
No.
That's what it is. That
No.
dude. Can we find out who that guy Colin Rugg is on Twitter?
I've seen his name
Because
yeah.
that guy, as far as I know, he doesn't have any real skill set besides posting the most inflammatory videos possible. I don't know if he's an expert on anything, but he's very good at interaction. He's extremely good at
a
it.
million followers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's making some good money from X or from Twitter, but I have no idea like what his
no, what I
what his
really wanted
background
to.
is.
He's an investor and he owns a site called trendingpoliticsnews.com, which I'm on it right now. I
me
feel like
too.
I'm getting a virus
Yeah,
just
it
by being
looks
on
like
it.
the fakest website of all time.
Yeah, the guy's
No,
just
so
very,
I
he's
more
very
want to
good
talk
at
about
getting,
where does this disinformation come from? And I think it's directly
People like
related
you.
to
Wait,
how he's
but
been
you
voting.
didn't say that. You just sent.
I
You sent
didn't.
it.
No, I just sent it.
he
Yeah.
sent it
Because I
as an
was just like-
example. He sent it as an example of
It's
something
more
that
just
What
to-
not to believe.
yeah, what people shouldn't
No,
share.
no, I'm just saying I sent it as a note to self to talk about when I saw it because it might come up. I think it has to do with how he's been voting on certain bills recently that people are starting a disinformation campaign against him.
Okay.
Like that's why I want to brought it up because like there was multiple people retweeting it. I think maybe it was just on my Twitter. It was high on the For You page, and I'm just like, where the hell does that come from? What is the source of this? And how many days ago did I send that to you guys?
A couple days.
I just kind of like it was more of like a note to self to talk about it because like I think it has to do with his support. You know, he's known as far left, but he's not falling into step with a lot of far left viewpoints nowadays. So I think it might be the calls coming from inside the house type thing
Wait, so Bernie
hang on.
Sanders, based on how he's voting,
on certain bills lately,
like
He's-
like funding of Israel.
yeah, like war hawk type stuff. And it's just very interesting to see how that's affected like
you
this
think that-
disinformation campaign.
Do you think that far left people would disagree with Bernie Sanders on that?
Yes.
I disagree with that.
Wait, that he voted for the bill
No,
to
he-
send money?
He voted against.
Why would
sending money to-
why would far left disagree with that?
Oh no. Wait. Let me look at the exact bill.
Yeah, he voted
think
against
we're-
it. He was one of the. Yeah, he voted against the bill to fund more
That's
weapons
what
and
I thought.
military aid.
Okay, that actually makes sense then why far right people would be tweeting that stuff about him. That's what I was trying to figure out.
So the call's coming from outside the house. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
There is a house though.
Yeah, there is a house, and one day Billy might be in that house.
We're trying.
We're trying. You sent that with no comment to it whatsoever, and then
we all send weird stuff into the text chain.
Never have sent a pedophilic accusation in the chat.
I'll just say this: if the story was true, and if the person has any sort of like reputation that's making these accusations, and
lock him up,
journalists would be all over that story. It would be one of the biggest stories ever.
Maybe the biggest scandal in the history of American politics.
Yeah. Yes. Billy says that there might be a bigger one.
No, I'm just saying it's a wild story. It was trending for like whatever.
It might have been on your For You page. I don't know if it was trending.
It was trending. I don't think I took a photo of it, but it was pretty high up there.
Maybe.
It was just weird. I just wanted to get to the bottom of why.
More to come on that, I'm sure.
No pun intended.
No.
Okay. All right. But that's where y'all draw the line.
I'll say it if it's true. I would want to know if that's true. But but it sounds like it might be the most made up story ever.
I mean, yeah. I would like to know if that was true as well.
All right. So elsewhere on Billy's sheet, let's look into it here.
It didn't make the main sheet. It was more a discussion prompt than a main sheet story.
Yes, that was not on the main sheet. That was something I brought up because Billy mentioned dropping links in the chat. The United States FTC has decided that non-compete agreements are illegal.
Huge for wage growth, guys.
Compete agreements.
Yeah. So
lay it on me.
So let's see how can I put this in NFL terms.
I know, you could just put it in regular terms.
I know. I was about to say.
I don't think in football.
I know, but I'm just trying to think of a way that I can.
The bathroom is 43 yards away. It's 4 first downs.
It'd be like if hypothetically you played on the Houston Texans and then your contract with the Texans expired and you were like, you know what, I want to go play on the Dolphins. And then the Texans were like, wait, what are you going to do for the Dolphins? You're like, I'm going to play running back. And they're like, that sounds a whole lot like what you did for us. Mm-hmm. Are you not going to use any of this stuff that we taught you on the Texans when you're playing on the Dolphins? Well, you can't do that. You can't ruin all the intellectual property that we put into coaching a player up to go off and use it against one of our competitors. And I know that you understand. You don't just speak football, but that was a thought experiment for myself mostly.
Sure it was.
But in these terms, it would be like if you were to, I guess if you were to like work in a startup, you're developing an app, and then you quit, and then you go to a new startup that's paying more money, and you're developing a competing app to them, and then you use some of the tricks that you learned at the first company, and you help them make an app that.
So that was legal.
That was legal.
And now it's not legal.
Apparently it's not legal anymore. I don't know if it's gone into action just yet, like how quickly this takes effect.
Well, that's good.
But I think like a ton of people out there. Like I've signed non-compete clauses, I think at every job that I've ever worked at. Well, not the dog adoption place. They didn't care.
They want you to compete. They want you to sell more dogs somewhere else. Not sell, but adopt out more dogs.
In dog adoption, iron sharpens iron. So they want their competition to be as good as possible. But
then maybe they can transfer the dogs over with their open shelter.
Yeah, exactly. Just more kennels for everybody. But I think most workers sign non-compete clauses when they sign up to work for a new company because you've usually already agreed to the terms at the company.
You ever heard of non-competes before?
You're excited to start there, and then they're like, here's a contract. It has non-compete. It's industry standard. And since every company does it, you're like, oh, I guess I have to sign this or I won't have a job. So they've deemed that minimum wage earners to CEOs are bound by non-competes everywhere in America, and it says the policy change could lead to increased wages totaling nearly $300 billion per year by encouraging people to swap jobs freely. So I think it's a good thing.
Let's open up free agency for the workforce.
We're all hitting free agency.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, wages are going to grow because of this, and people are going to start making more money, and we're going to start seeing, like the cost of living is going to be a little more manageable. That's huge for everybody.
I think the only people it really directly affects are like founders and CEOs. I guess CEOs have non-competes too, but like founders of companies, they love this tool because they could control their workers and the workers couldn't switch jobs and then work for another startup that was going to beat you out.
Mm-hmm.
So founders loved it, but I think it's good for like everybody else besides that.
Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to that. It sounds like a good law. Also on Billy's sheet, Tennessee lawmakers passed bill to allow teachers to be armed.
Oh my God. Plum dumb.
So it was a 68-28 vote in favor of the bill. It got sent to Republican Bill Lee for consideration. If he signs it into law, it'd be the biggest expansion of gun access in the state since last year's deadly shooting. So I think I know a lot of elementary school teachers.
Me too.
My mom was a teacher
Well,
for
I know 3. I don't.
like
Is that
30
a lot?
years.
That's a lot, though.
That's
a lot for an average person.
I think I'm friends with, I would consider close friends with like 7 elementary school teachers.
That's a lot.
None of them would I ever want or trust with a gun.
The ones I know
They would be
afraid of guns.
They would be the worst shooters ever.
Yeah.
They would be very unskilled.
Yeah. Friendly fire might happen in these situations.
Yeah, I think it's a slightly different skill set to be an elementary school teacher. Also, like, think of the worst teacher that you had in your school. Now imagine that person with a gun.
You do understand,
Sit
though.
the fuck down, I said.
You're misrepresenting. It's not like any teacher can walk into school with a gun.
Oh, yeah, I'm not trying to say that it's like mandatory that
well, not
teachers
even
carry
mandatory.
guns.
Like, you would have to have a concealed carry permit and like.
Yes.
Very easy
Take-
to get, though.
Yes.
I wouldn't say
Very
it's
easy to
easy.
get.
In some states.
It's not like teachers are going to be lining up who have never owned a gun before. Be like, wow, I need to get one now.
Your teachers need not have guns, dog.
I think I mostly agree with you, but also this is already legal in like half of the states in the U.S. and people are acting like Tennessee is the first state to do this.
They're not. They're definitely not.
Correct.
Armed security, police officers.
I just wanted
that's one
to
thing.
say that this means football coaches are going to have guns on them during practice.
Yeah, a lot of football coaches would. I'd say that they'd probably be the highest represented demographic. Maybe baseball. I think a higher percentage of baseball coaches. Than
Absolutely,
football coaches.
baseball coaches.
Like every baseball coach is going to have a gun in school now.
I don't think it's going to be every. I would choose armed SRO officers at every school long before that.
Yes, I would too. Gym teachers.
This is a wild militaristic society. Like, just think about what we're talking about. This is wild, dog. Like,
did you guys have driver's ed? That was a high school class.
Yeah.
mm-mm.
They brought somebody in to do like 6 hours or something, and then they're like, if you want to take the rest of our class, come pay $200 at so and so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like they tried to sell you on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had like a period in school that we had to go to for driver's ed to teach you about car safety. I think it was like half a year, a full semester of it.
They just had a company come in and show us a video of people getting like their brains smashed in.
Red asphalt.
Yeah, that may be it.
It was made in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Probably, yeah.
No, I never saw that. We didn't have that.
Because I was going to say, I think the only demographic that would be higher than baseball coaches is probably driver's ed teachers. Driver's ed teachers love that shit. But you didn't have them.
PE coaches.
PE coaches, yeah.
That's usually baseball and football, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
Baseball, but I think baseball coaches usually history teachers.
Yep. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
We had one guy that was a math teacher, and everybody looked at him.
That's crazy.
He was like, "What's your problem?"
That's wild.
was
That's a real subject.
Yeah, he was our shocking.
He had 2 real jobs.
Yeah, he was our head baseball coach, and we had a pretty good baseball team, and he was also a math teacher.
That's not normal. That demographic doesn't usually cross over the Venn diagram.
Something weird.
Math teacher and baseball.
That's
coach.
probably why our baseball team was good, because he was the first guy using sabermetrics and like advanced stats and shit.
Sports science.
He was a unicorn. Yeah, like every other school in our district
I
probably.
wonder if there's data about that.
He had like a substitute PE teacher that was coaching baseball, and he'd just be like, "Put my big boys out there fourth. You're batting fourth. You look like you could bat fourth. You got a lot of power, son."
I always wanted to do a history football coach combo. I feel like there's a lot of those.
It's a classic. Yeah.
If you made decent money, I wouldn't really want to work with like high school kids, but I feel like I would enjoy teaching history.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
History-
And
History's
coaching
sick.
something.
I think it'd be fun. I could see myself teaching history or an English department.
PFT would be a very good. You would be like Goodwill Hunting. I feel like
Would I just
you'd
write
be like
stuff?
Robin Williams.
I'd write stuff on the board and then hope that a janitor would come in.
No. You'd be like Robin Williams, or you'd be like Robin Williams in like the Good Poets Society, like trying to steer them towards good things in life. I feel like you'd be a good English teacher.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And to one of my students,
Has anyone ever had a male English teacher?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Newman.
I don't know that I ever had one.
Doc
Mine was
Wilson.
gay.
Yeah, he fucking
so-
hated me.
Yours was gay.
Yeah.
That's the dude I remember the story where I took a toaster to class.
Yes.
It was
Oh
his
yeah.
class. Mr. Newman.
I
I
had
wonder
a-
if he's alive.
I had a male English teacher at an all-girls school.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had one female English teacher, and the rest were all guys.
Just one?
Just one, yeah.
Because I was thinking English is the one that skews like most heavily female.
You think so?
Why is that?
I don't know. That's just in
feels-
my
just-
experience.
Women love reading.
Bitches love reading.
They do.
Whoa.
Yeah, all my math teachers were also women.
Do y'all read?
No.
No.
I was
I'm so
actually
bad.
I was
I
just
should.
I was thinking about that over the weekend, and how I want to start reading more, and so I got 2 books this weekend.
Nice.
I got 2
Well,
books.
Yeah,
so
I don't think
I'm
people
gonna,
read a lot.
I'm gonna start reading. One
no,
was
you're reading just in different ways.
Twitter.
Yeah.
yeah,
Nah, that's not reading, though.
scrolling.
Instagram.
I know, like
captions.
reading, but like
Nah, this is
I
a, this
read
is
a
a
lot of
young
articles.
man's justification for not reading.
Arian, white girls like Mackenzie and I's demographic are big in the reading.
Yeah, but
game.
they're reading porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That's
They're
true.
reading
What?
like fairy smut.
What the fuck is fairy smut? I know what those words mean separately.
Well,
Maybe.
put
Wait,
them
hold
together.
on. What does smut mean to you?
Porn, written porn.
Oh no, smut. That's not what I know smut as.
Which
Smut is it's a promiscuous woman.
No, it's like
So when you say fairy smut, I'm like,
it's
hey,
like
yo,
like a lot of my friends read these books that are fantasy books.
A lot of your friends, huh?
What?
Not you.
someone she
No, I
knows.
don't. Check my house. I don't read
check
ACOTAR.
my library card.
I don't read ACOTAR. I don't read. But they read these books that are like fairy fantasy books, but then also are just like, may I say, softcore porn?
You're
Yeah,
allowed
so
to say that. Yeah.
what do you mean fairy?
Like fantasy, like
FAIRY.
yeah.
Yeah, but like there's a fairy with wings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she just gets plowed into the next dimension.
Kinda, yeah.
Why would it be a next dimension? There's another dimension in this. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm kind of interested now.
If you get banged hard enough.
Yeah, so
Isn't there?
I think that's okay though. I would take
it gets the ladies reading. I'll
what
tell you
I
that
would
much.
I would take people reading that than nothing because fantasy books to me are dope as shit. I think the last fantasy book I read was like I think I talked about it before. It's called Scythe. Really dope book, and I read it with my daughter. It was really dope.
Yeah.
And I don't usually read fantasy. Usually when I read, I get something out of it. It's like history or some kind of like knowledge based book. But fantasy dope. It's really dope. It's like a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
That's what most TV shows are made.
I
from.
used to read the Martin the Warrior books back in the day, fantasy adventure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about these like little rodents and mice and badgers that form these like armies and societies in like medieval times and
Okay.
have wars with each other.
That's pretty
Is that
dope.
Redwall?
Yeah, it's like Redwall. Yeah, Martin the
Okay.
Warrior was one of them. The Redwall
Dude.
series.
My favorite was Pendragon, Percy Jackson, Aragon,
Mm-hmm.
and then I used to read a lot.
Were you a Hunger Games kid?
Yeah, Hunger
Same.
Games. Oh, Rats of NIMH. I even read the Twilight books.
It's more
I
of a
gotta
Mike
start reading
Lupica
again.
man myself.
Oh, Mike Lupica.
Yeah.
Dude, the
Those
Twilight
books were
books were kind of
goated.
dope. There
Mike
was
Lupica,
werewolves.
Mitch Albom,
Did he write books?
Tuesdays with
Oh,
Morrie.
Tuesdays with Maury. Yeah, that's
All right.
it.
According to a Pew Research Center, if you was to guess the percentage of American adults that say they have read a book in the past 12 months, what would you say the percentage is?
20.
10%.
I was gonna say 27.
Yeah, I was gonna say 29.
Billy?
I'm gonna go with 15.
This is what they're saying. They're saying 64% of Americans. But
Whoa.
they're absolutely
Full of
lying.
shit.
They're absolutely lying.
Or we're dumb as fuck and not reading.
They're
Yeah.
including audiobooks in this.
No, they're
That
wait,
could be.
front to
Probably
back?
true, and they're still lying.
That could be.
What's
I've
the
been doing
definition?
audiobooks.
Hold on. Are you one of those audiobooks isn't reading things or people?
Well, that's up to you. I consume them in audiobooks because, like, when I'm sitting here doing work all day, like I'll listen to podcasts and audiobooks.
I'm not snobby enough to feel like that's not reading.
I'm fine. Like, I think it's a good thing that people are listening to audiobooks.
Yeah, because not everybody consumes information or digests it the same way.
It's a good thing, but also if you're an audiobook reader and you listen to, like, I don't know, even just 2 audiobooks a year, and then you respond in a survey and you're like, yes, I've read several books. Or if somebody like asks you what you do and you're like, oh, I'm a voracious reader. That, you can't say that. You can say I listen to a lot of audiobooks if somebody's having that conversation.
I don't know because, okay, the point of reading is to what?
Learn. Or just to enjoy yourself.
To get the information from the words being presented to you on the page, right?
Yeah.
If you get the exact same information from somebody saying it to you in an audio form, why can't you say it? Unless you're just being like, okay, you don't read.
But it's not reading.
I do think reading is healthier than audiobooks from like a brain stimulation standpoint.
Don't get me wrong. I think they're both good, but I think that one is very clearly not reading.
Sure, but it's achieving the same thing.
Yes, but it's not.
So then why does it matter?
Hold on. The action or skill of reading, written or printed matter silently or aloud.
No, that's different. I do agree with him. It is not by definition reading, but it's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think it's reading. But
I'm pretty sure if you read, the act of like processing the words from written word as opposed to auditory is like a harder task for your brain, and thus it's like better in a way.
But I don't think that's the case for everybody. I think everybody learns differently. Like some people learn visually, some people learn audibly. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think there is the unilateral way to retain information. Mm-hmm. I think that's subjective.
So here's the stats. Reading consistently improves concentration and critical thinking skills while strengthening brain network connectivity. On the other hand, listening to audiobooks can lead to developing deeper empathy.
I think this is all subjective.
I think they're both good.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad. The best way I do it, like, so every book that I buy, I also get the audiobook, and I just do them both.
At the same time?
Yeah. So somebody's reading it to me while I'm reading it.
Can you keep up with the words on the page as you listen to it?
Yeah,
I feel like I would fall behind on the page.
No, they don't read that fast.
Okay.
And you can change the speed. So sometimes I'll speed it up if I feel like it's too slow.
Okay.
But to me, I retain the information so much more like that.
Interesting.
I'm listening to / reading 7 Days in Augusta right now. You would like it.
What's it about?
The week of the Masters.
This is one?
It was written.
Quick turnaround. It was a quick turnaround.
Maybe 10 years ago or so.
Okay.
Who won that year?
2021.
2021.
Was that Jordan Spieth?
No.
22 was Scheffler. 23 was Rahm.
Yeah. Who's
21 was...
I don't know.
How do we not know this?
This is a dozen question.
Justin Thomas?
Did he win it?
So there's somebody screaming at their speaker.
Nobody say it. Nobody say it. I'm going to figure it out.
I have it.
All right, so let's talk this through. Who has won?
Damn, Jack Nicklaus looked bad, dog.
Tiger was 2019.
2019.
Jack Nicklaus lately?
Yeah, he's a little bit
like Joe Biden.
2020 was played in November.
Have
that
you
was
seen
Dustin
Bill
Johnson.
Clinton recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, he been on a decline.
I know everyone.
No, he looks jacked now.
The Hideki Matsuyama.
Yep. His caddy bowed to the course. Yes. Okay.
I was going to use.
Fire moment. He did it when no cameras were around, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were cameras around,
but it was our practice round where nobody.
Well, no, it was after. It was when it was over.
Didn't he? I thought it was a practice round.
No, it was like after. It was on Sunday after they'd won,
and so nobody was there. He just went out there, and that was fire.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a great
it was awesome.
Great moment.
It's an awesome moment for sure.
That shit, it chokes me up to this day.
Something about Augusta just makes dudes just emotional.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I love it. I love watching it. I'm sad that we have to wait another year.
They have like a I'm sure y'all know a whole bunch of different factoids about it, but like they have different grass than the surrounding courses.
Yeah.
And so it's not indigenous to that area.
They do that so that it's going to be green every spring when they play, whereas in the summertime it turns brown, so you're not allowed to play there in the summertime.
That's wild.
Close the course down because it's ryegrass.
So where they get their money from? Just the tournament?
No, the billions of dollars in people that own the course or that are members there.
And to be a member, it's like $10,000 a year or something.
Oh, way
Really?
more than that.
Well,
No, I heard it was 40.
I think there's an initial fee that's a lot.
No,
and
I heard
then
that
it's-
was 40.
It's way like the people that are members at Augusta are the top levels of wealth in America.
So
But that's what I think. Before she tells us, from my understanding, it's a relatively low fee for the caliber of club it is.
The initiation fee is estimated to be in the range of $40,000 to $200,000, but the official figure is unknown. The yearly dues are assessed at a few $1,000s annually in the field of $7,000 to $10,000.
Really?
Yeah. So they
Wow.
make their money elsewhere. I don't think it's fees.
Well, they do, I think, $1 million an hour in merch for like the whole week of the tournament.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
And the TV rights, sponsorships, they only have like 4 sponsors. It's
Their
like
app.
Mercedes-Benz, their app is great.
fucking app needs to be adapted. It needs to be in the Library of Congress.
It's a great app.
It's the greatest shit in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were sucking them off the other day.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, you can watch like 6 guys.
It's a great app though.
The app runs efficiently.
Maybe, it's the first time I saw the app. Everybody that I wanted to watch, I could watch. So I haven't explored it with the veracity of, let me watch the 78th place guy like you.
No,
maybe.
I bet on Scotty before the tournament. I wanted to watch every shot of Scotty.
You can.
No, you cannot.
If you go to the app, you go to Scotty Scheffler and they show you every shot that he shot.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, what good does that do me? I already know he birdied the hole. I don't seeing the shot
you wanna
10
watch it
minutes
live?
later doesn't do me any good.
No, it's not. It's not 10 minutes later. It's right as it does it. You can. It's
after.
updated. It's okay.
Because I did it all
It may
weekend.
not be 30 seconds, but if it's like a minute after, you can actually just go watch the holes that he
I
played.
should be able to watch every single golfer take every single shot live.
You know how many cameras would have to be?
It's not a camera issue. It's that Augusta National doesn't they just don't let CBS and ESPN do it.
I'm okay with that. It's what
Even
it's,
on
it's
Sunday.
what makes Augusta so spectacular, and it's what makes Denzel Washington so like amazing. It's because you don't have access to him. You don't have access to it. The more access you have to something, the less prestigious it is.
I do agree with you
Keep
on
this
that.
shit exclusive.
And for like merch and stuff like that, absolutely,
Same
that's
shit.
really cool.
Yeah.
The broadcast on Sunday, the final round started. Scheffler's on like the 4th hole. It's crazy.
I don't know if that's the case. 'Cause
100%.
He was leading.
I know. And he teed off at like 2:15 or whatever, and the broadcast started at 3.
because I was watching Tiger the whole time, and I had another group, and I think it was him.
It wasn't.
I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the case.
It is. I promise.
Okay, you had the app.
Yeah. I was checking every single hole.
It's a great app.
Pause.
And if you can't watch live, they do have every shot, but Big T's right. It takes like 3 minutes sometimes to get up there, which
Yeah, I
is
mean-
still remarkable. That we can get that.
What are we talking about? This is a fucking
Once I
amazing
know what he
technology.
got on the hole, seeing him take the shot doesn't matter.
You're talking about from a gambling perspective. I'm talking about from a golf connoisseur perspective. It is beautiful to be able to go to. I wonder what, man, he bogeyed 6. I want to see what happened on that hole. You can go
If
to
only,
the
yeah,
hole.
me too.
You can
I want to
do
see
that.
it while he's doing it.
You can't see listen, you talking about it from a gambling perspective of you got money on it and you want to see what's happening. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I enjoy the game of golf.
Me too.
I'm looking at the scoreboard. The number 10 ranked player gets a birdie on a hard hole on number 5, right? Wow, damn, well, let me see how that happened.
Okay, tell me this. The other night, the Lakers game,
Okay.
how would you like it if you had to just look at an app and be like, oh, LeBron just made a sick 3,
Two different sports.
and then you could watch it 2 minutes later?
Two different sports.
It's the same premise.
No, it's not the same premise.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Because like the beauty of a golf shot is to me different than a basketball play. It's different.
But you want to know what's happening as it's happening.
Sometimes. I understand what you're saying. Like, I would like to watch the winner of the Masters happening live, yes. But I also can see the beauty in having the access to every shot that has been shot by every player on every hole at my disposal. That is fucking fantastic.
I think we mostly agree.
We do.
I just want that to happen in real time.
Yeah, I have a hard time complaining about some shit that I can't do. Do your thing, Masters.
What do you mean that you can't do?
I can't create no fucking app like that.
It's not even
Sure.
that. It's that
That's why I'm not gonna complain about it.
most places that try to make an app are way, way worse than the Masters. Like, can you imagine another golf tournament making an app that works as well as the Masters? Doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, give me another sports app that's better than the Masters app.
I think it's number one.
That's what I'm saying.
March Madness app, not bad.
I didn't ask that like rhetorically. I meant that.
Yeah.
Is there one? Because that blew my mind.
I think it's March Madness and Masters are
MLB's is good.
Is it?
One of the few things they do well, yeah.
The Barstool Sports app? They knocked that out of the park.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I don't even
good.
have it.
DraftKings, good app.
DraftKings is great. That's where I bet on Scotty Scheffler and then couldn't watch him.
Unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Oh, he got a birdie. Great.
After hole 4, you can watch them though, right?
On Sunday, yeah.
What are you talking about? 4 holes.
There's only 18 of them.
Yeah, but
That's a lot
on
of
Sunday,
golf. Like,
On Sunday,
You're talking about 3 hours right
on
there.
Sunday you want to watch everything live.
I mean, Arian, we played golf yesterday, and if people miss those first 3 holes,
You're not
Facts.
lying
So
about that. You're not
true.
lying about that.
sometimes 3 holes make all the
I
difference.
don't know how I feel
Pause.
about this video. God damn.
When's it coming out?
soon.
It's not my best work, yo.
Big T, have you ever played like a full round of golf?
I play golf approximately once a year.
And this
It was
your one time.
it was a good time. We had some great shots.
Great course.
The course is beautiful. You would have loved it.
Yeah.
We had some great shots, great moments. We had some shitty shots, some horrible moments.
That's what people
The
want
ups
to see.
and downs.
People want to see the bad ones.
Well, Mackenzie lost some of the footage on one of the holes. So
no.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
yeah,
Yeah. We had to throw the camera in the water.
I felt, yeah.
it's unfortunate that happened.
That's tough.
Yeah,
Wait,
You know what-
this sounds like a cover up.
No, I lost it.
it is what it is, bro. Like I
It's-
can't.
You know where they didn't
cover-up.
lose? Where they didn't lose the footage was when Arian was playing with the LPGA Tour Pro Am,
Yeah.
and you hit the ball like 40 yards to your right. You remember that?
No, the camera looked like that. It was-
Yeah, it's a camera angle.
I mean, if you look, so I bogeyed that hole.
Okay.
So that drive that I hit was like, it was like a 295-yard drive. Because we were playing a shamble where you take the best drive off the tee and then everybody plays from there.
Yeah.
And so it was my drive was like 295, like maybe a yard off the fairway. It was a beautiful shot. And then the next shot, I did duff it, don't get me wrong, but it went like diagonally right. It didn't go like straight right.
Okay.
It was a bad shot.
Bad
Don't get me
angle,
wrong.
too.
Horrible, horrible shot on a wedge that I should be able to knock it close. But
Was the shot worse or was the angle worse?
the angle was worse than the shot was because I had like maybe a 20-yard pitch
Okay.
that was pin high.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till this comes out.
No, I didn't play well. I think the at the beginning we did for sure. First 3 holes we was balling. Our putting sucked.
I can't wait to see.
It was bad.
Can't wait to see. All right, we're gonna get to some sports drafts, the history of sports drafts, because it is draft day, and it's brought to you by Steven Singer Jewelers. Better listen up. You're gonna thank me because I have the world's best gift, and I mean it. Mother's Day is coming up. Don't wait. Don't wait. Now's the time. Get your mom a gift. Don't wait till the last second. Get it right now. You got nothing else going on right now. Your future self will thank you for taking care of this. Because everyone knows flowers, especially roses, are the number one gift that mom wants on Mother's Day. But with roses, a week later, they get thrown in the trash, in the garbage. They're gone. You don't have anything left but a memory and the credit card bill to show for it. But if you want to give a great gift that she's going to cherish forever, you should check out Steven Singer Jewelers. Picture this. A real, long-stemmed American Beauty rose, deeply dipped in pure 24-karat gold. Guaranteed to last forever. If you want to see what I'm talking about, look at us on the YouTube right now. I've got, or on Rumble, wherever you happen to be watching this video, I've got a 24-karat dipped rose. It looks beautiful. We've got them here in studio. You can check him out at IHateStevensinger.com and click on the roses to see his entire collection of exclusive colors, perfect for mom. They've got the I Love You Blush Pink or the brand new red wine. The collection starts at just $59. So check it out online, or you can look at us on the video right now if you want to see what they look like in person. It's IHateStevensinger.com. Free shipping, free personalized love note, free lifetime guarantee. They are the most hated jeweler in America by other jewelers. It's IHateStevensinger.com. IHateStevensinger.com. All right, sports drafts time. I am pumped. It's draft day, and I truly believe for the first time in a very long time that things are about to turn over for me. I think that this is the draft that's going to do it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to no longer be a loser anymore.
You should start your day out after this podcast and watching one of the most beautifully cinematically captured films of all time.
The Longest Yard.
No. Draft Day.
Draft day.
Draft Day with Kevin Costner, multi-decorated actor.
Diddy.
Chadwick. Diddy's in there?
Diddy's in there?
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
he's Chadwick
God.
Boseman's agent.
Damn,
Oh,
it's true.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
didn't even know.
Did you meet Diddy?
Never met Diddy.
He wasn't on set with you?
I've never been to Diddy's parties. I don't know Diddy. No, I was
This movie
never
is-
that famous.
Yeah, we should actually. Can we redo a poster of Draft Day? Draft Day, starring Arian Foster and Diddy.
And Diddy.
as the two main names.
It's one
Photoshop.
of the wildest collections of
Yeah.
actors, like
It is wild. Me, Chadwick Boseman.
Jennifer Garner,
Jennifer
Kevin
Garner.
Costner.
Who's the
Diddy,
dude? Who was the-
Terry Crews?
Who's
the
the, yeah, Terry
coach?
Crews? Who's the dude that was the Green Goblin in Spider-Man?
I don't know.
I
Willem
forget his name.
Dafoe?
Is that
Oh,
his
Willem
name?
Dafoe.
He's in
It's
there.
not Willem Dafoe.
It's not.
I think it's Kevin Bacon.
No,
Dennis-
not in
Dennis
there.
Oh,
Leary?
no.
Dennis
Dennis
Leary. That's who
Leary.
it is. It's
Okay.
not
Oh, my
Willem
bad.
Dafoe.
Dennis-
I was like, Willem Dafoe is not in
I
that
thought he
movie.
was, he's not. Damn.
Thoughts and prayers to Dennis Leary.
What
if
happened
he's
to him?
listening to this.
We
I mean,
just
just like
compared to Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Willem
They look
Dafoe,
alike.
great actor.
They look alike.
Great actor. Seems like a very nice guy too.
They look alike. Give me a side by side, bro. Hold on.
Yeah,
they look
they are a
alike,
little
bro.
bit.
He is a unique looking guy.
That's not a reach, bro. Hold on. William Dafoe.
Willem.
Willem. It's EM.
Dafoe.
Oh, there are searches like, are they related?
Okay,
Here.
Willem Dafoe. Okay, so he wasn't. Okay.
Sam Elliott
Oh
in
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah. It's a great cast.
They look a lot alike now that I'm like. But anyway, if you got some time, watch that beautiful masterpiece.
So good.
It's a great movie.
Tom Welling.
I get residual checks of about
Oh, yeah.
$40
That's pretty
every
good.
now and then. So go ahead and bump that up to 50.
Around this time is that usually when you get it?
Well, no, it comes. I don't know if I think it's quarterly. Maybe I'll get like.
Is this
SAG
one
residuals.
more?
Around draft time, it'll
Yeah.
it'll spike to like 100 maybe.
I will watch it tonight or
That's what I'm
tomorrow.
talking
I
about.
usually
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
Get in the mood for it.
We should have a watch party.
Yeah. Starring Diddy, Ray Lewis, Arian Foster. The big three.
Yeah, big three, motherfucker, the big three.
It's just big meat.
Yeah,
I didn't have it in my head until after. I don't know if we can spoil the video or not. When we played golf yesterday, there were some really good holes and there were some really bad ones. It was after the really good ones that I thought the next time I hit an awesome shot, I was going to say, fuck the big three, it's just big T.
yeah.
Never hit another good one the rest of the day.
But you had that one on
Never
deck?
got, it was in the chamber for 14 holes.
That's hilarious, dog.
So the draft goes all the way back to 1935. That's when the NFL inaugurated the use of amateur drafts in sports. It was
Before we do that,
Yep.
what was Coley's no draft theory?
Yeah,
Because I remember thinking it was preposterous. Like, don't have a draft at all.
Well, that it's like, I mean, it is kind of socialist.
it is.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So I remember thinking when he first told me, just like, yeah, there should be no draft. And I was like, that's just crazy. And then I don't remember what it is now, but I remember him telling me, I was like, that actually is kind of fire. Do you remember what it is?
I don't remember the
Can we
exact.
call him real quick?
Yeah, we can give him a call. I don't remember the exact.
I think you just
all the
explained
details,
it. Like,
but-
just get rid of it.
No, but there's a reason as to why it makes sense. And I forget the reason as to why.
I think it's just that it's communist.
I think it's because
Well, that's not why.
with the salary cap in place, teams would not be able to draft or pay. They wouldn't be able to pay highly touted rookies as much money if they already had a good team, because they would have already been compensating those good players that they have. So the teams that were not as good would theoretically be able to go after and get the highly coveted rookies
Better
coming out.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
It should theoretically, there should still be a level of parity. So like soccer, it's what this would be, right? You just go wherever you want, but there's no salary cap in soccer. There's financial rules, but they're broken all the time. You could just pay guys as much as you want. When you have a salary cap, it should theoretically still disperse the talent. Like NIL has done in college football, they're still top guys are going to a lot of the same schools, but then a school like, Tennessee, who maybe wasn't as good recently, is now like, we'll pay you more than so-and-so's going to.
Mm-hmm.
And then guys are going to schools like that rather than all going to Alabama and Georgia and whatever. And that's even without a salary cap.
So you're saying, so the premise of it would be the diversity of talent would spread out because of...
It would probably not be as much as it does with the draft, but it shouldn't be drastic. Like in soccer, all the top guys go to 5 teams in the world. Whereas in this, like every team is on a pretty level financial playing field. So guys would be forced really to go to different teams.
When every other line of business, when you graduate from college, you can choose where you want to work. Right? There's not one company that you get to go work for if you're really good at it. You can choose where you want to live in the United States, what city you want to be in, where you want to work. In the NFL, you can't do that, obviously. There's the draft where teams get to line up in order, and then theoretically the worst teams will be able to pick the best players at the start of it. And that is, like Big T said, a little bit socialist. Or it's maybe that's not the best example of socialism in the NFL, but the spreading of the wealth amongst the owners. The owners are socialist as fuck.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they've got the strongest union in the world going, as if you're one of the 32 owners. But there was a guy that actually sued the NFL, claiming that they should get rid of the draft. So this kind of speaks to like why the modern draft is the way it is. His name was James Smith in 1968.
Are you for the abolishing of the draft?
I don't know. I'm more of like a creature of habit. So I've learned about the draft. I know what the rules about the draft are, and it's just become part of my sports calendar.
Well,
in terms of fairness, it's definitely not fair. It's not fair for like the players that are coming out to have to.
Well, instead of the draft, just to massage your nostalgia, couldn't it just be a signing day vibe?
An auction?
Well, no, that's problematic. But
that would be very uncomfortable. But
I was gonna say a signing day vibe where guys you can collect.
Yeah.
You can get Mel Kiper doing all the same shit he does, but guys take off shirts to reveal, or maybe that'd be dramatic, but you reveal where you want to go.
Yeah,
and where you want to go is gonna be dictated by where other guys go.
And all the offers are made public, so it'd be kind of like a reverse auction. Is that the best way to put it? Where like the team,
you're really hell bent on this auction.
No, I'm saying I would not like.
They've tried that.
The auction's not a good idea. Not a good. But I'm saying like it'd be cool if it was televised and you had every team, and there's already a rookie wage scale in place, right?
Yeah.
So you would get to determine how much of that wage scale you'd want to offer to Caleb Williams coming out, and then you'd have every team submit their offers to Caleb, and then Caleb would see what the offers are.
And he gets to pick.
Sometimes,
That's
like
lit.
he wouldn't necessarily pick the highest one.
But he still gets to pick, right?
He might take less money.
I doubt that, but yeah.
For a better fit.
Because who was it? Eli, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Eli.
Yeah,
he had the same thing where he was like, "I'm not going to San Diego."
Yep.
And somebody just said that. I saw a clip of it. Was it Deion? Was it Deion saying Shador was like, "We're gonna do the Eli thing"?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he'll only let him go to 6 teams or something.
I love Deion. That's my guy, but he's not gonna have that option.
And the teams were just the ones he played for plus the Commanders.
Oh, the Commanders was on that list?
It was,
no, he played for us.
Oh, then it was.
Yeah, he did. He was number 30. He was number 37.
Yeah.
So it was Commanders, Falcons, Cowboys, 49ers.
Baltimore?
I don't remember.
Because he played for Baltimore.
It could have been, yeah. But yeah, it was basically just the teams he played for, and then there was one more thrown in there.
I like that.
Now, why would you do that as Dion?
I think this might be Dion also exaggerating that a little bit.
Right.
To project strength and to just put that out there that like we have this power, and just so you know that if you're going to be dealing with my son, you're going to have to treat him a little bit differently with more respect than some other players.
That's tough because I love Dion, and I think the only way that works is if the talent level exceeds or is on par with the leverage that you're playing with. And I think Shedeur is a good quarterback in college. I'm unsure about his talent at the next level. I think he could probably play. But I don't think he's nowhere near like the caliber player to be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
You're raising expectations for your kid too.
Yeah,
you're putting a lot of
let
pressure
him
on
do that if that's what he wants to do. But I'm not gonna do because you're Dion. Your voice travels.
Yeah, was he joking? Was he like on a podcast where he was?
That
like,
could be the case too. I just read it, so I could be.
If he does do a power play, like, hey, here's the 6 teams that are allowed to draft my son, it becomes like an official thing that they're standing by. Then you're right, like the spotlight that's going to be put on him and the expectation.
By the way, it was his kids and Travis Hunter, who is not his kid.
Yeah.
Oh, Travis Hunter. Well, I mean, he's a full father figure, like.
Yeah, I guess, but.
Which I think he might have some leverage like that.
I think he might too.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal talent.
He's going to be a top 10 pick for sure. There are some drafts that have Shedeur going like number 1.
What draft is that?
Well, mocks.
Number 1 in the draft?
Correct.
Like for real?
Bears?
Yes. Next year.
For next
year.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch him again. But from what I saw, I didn't see that.
Well, Billy predicts the Bears will be drafting first again next year.
And drafting a quarterback.
Interesting. Per Billy football.
I'm just saying, Caleb Williams is one of those things where, like, you're going to be bad in the NFL coming from college. That's a given. There's a learning curve. You're going to be bad. And when you're...
That's not necessarily true.
Okay, who has not shown...
CJ Stroud last year was incredible.
I know, but he never struggled. He never struggled at all throughout.
He was one of the best quarterbacks.
Not really, no.
He had a bad week 1. He struggled against the Ravens both times.
Right. You're going to be bad. He had a bad week 1, but he progressed from there and he learned. But when you get that step back, people are going to start to look to the antics as the reason. People are going to be pointing to, hey, that's why he's bad. So if he's like going to be able to have a CJ Stroud year, which is that's a 1% phenomenon that he was amazing. People are going to start pointing to his antics and be like, that is why he's bad. That is why he'll never be successful. But if he's able to bounce back from that, that's how that all it's going to be put up or shut up. And I hope he does, but the antics are going to be.
You talking about Caleb?
Yeah.
What do you say? Shut up. What is he saying?
Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
Well, he comes off in his interviews as super cocky, which he was very good in college. I don't blame him for that. He has the fuck you on his fingernails. Like the antics.
This is giving
I'm not a hater.
Little league basketball
I'm not a hater.
vibes.
I'm not a hater. I know you're saying that, but
teammates
in the locker room, teammates in the
Are
locker
we
room.
not in a point in America where we understand
that?
that athletes at a high caliber are cocky? Like, can we?
It's not. No,
he's
it's not
a
just
little
the cocky.
weird. He's a little weird. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a little. It's like. It's different.
I think Billy's right that anytime you're different,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you
it's
fuck
going to
up,
be pointed to.
then they're like, that's why you're bad. Like
he specifically said put up or shut up. And I didn't know that he made. I don't know. I don't follow Caleb Williams like that. But like, was there any I'm gonna come in and die? I don't know.
He's different. He is a little cocky. He paints his fingernails. I'm not talking about like the painting of the fingernails being the issue, but like he'll write like "fuck you" to whatever team that he's playing on his fingernails. I don't have like a problem with it at all, but it is a little cocky of a move to just be like.
But his
fuck
stats do back it up. Like he's 50% in the pocket, 50% scramble. Like he is right down the line where he makes plays and where he goes through his reads and like makes the right read off the jump. I can't wait to watch him. I can't wait to see it. But
who's better, Caleb Williams or Zach Wilson?
I mean, Caleb Williams is much better. Okay. Just coming out of college, of course.
And I think he's a great player. I think he's going to be
And
good in
his
the NFL.
pro day
But-
was
I have not
great.
watched one game of him.
But Billy is right that anytime you're different, people will be like, that's why you're not. That's why you had a bad week. It's
Yeah.
because-
Yeah, I used to get
it's
that
because you wore what could be considered a dress one
Yeah,
time.
I used to get that shit all the time.
Yeah, the atheist one.
It's because like my interviews were like, I would actually like have conversations, and that was like not normal, and so it's like, oh, he thinks he's better than everybody else. I'm like, I don't, I promise.
Yeah, but the second you fuck up, you fumble the ball.
Mhm.
Maybe spend more time in the playbook and less time in your physics book.
Yeah, less time philosophizing.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to this guy that got drafted.
Yeah, this is interesting.
1968, defensive back from Oregon. He got picked 12th overall by the Washington Redskins, signed with the team for $50,000. $50,000 as the 12th overall pick. And then 14 games into his rookie season, he had a career-ending neck injury. So he can't play football anymore. 2 years after that, this guy, James Smith, sued the NFL, sued the Redskins, alleging that the draft is a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act, saying he would have gotten a better deal if he had been able to negotiate with every NFL team instead of just one, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And he demanded that the NFL make up the difference in what he could have
Talk
made.
about before your time. Holy
Yeah.
shit, 68?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he demanded that they pay him what he could have made for his 1 year of play. He initially won in district court. He got $276,000 in damages, and he won the first appeal case made by the NFL. And if the decision continued to hold up, it would have jeopardized the existence of drafts in the NFL and every other major team sport. But the NFL had a different strategy. They went to the players' union, and the NFL secured the blessing of the players' union, so the league could get around the antitrust law. If your biggest bargaining representative, if the bargaining representative of the workers agrees to go along with it, then the NFL has an avenue where they can say, yes, you know what, technically this is in violation of law, the Antitrust Act, but our collective bargaining group, the players, have agreed that this is in the best interest of them, so they are agreeing that the draft is okay.
Wow.
So
What was their art? Well, probably won't get into that.
So the NFL strategy ended up working, and there was a set of Supreme Court decisions in the decade before Smith's suit that established a non-statutory labor exemption to antitrust law, meaning the draft was still okay as long as the union agreed.
Was okay with it.
Yeah, and then
So it's the union holding it up.
yep, and then in
Mutual
1977,
combat.
yep,
There you
They
go.
both agree.
There you go.
1977, the appeals court was about to rule in the Smith versus Pro Football. The league and the NFLPA struck a new CBA, which included the first ever official blessing of the NFLPA for the draft. And then the other major sports leagues followed with the exact same tactic so that they could protect their drafts in the
Wow.
future.
So the NFLPA is responsible for there being a draft and having players not negotiate out of college.
Yep,
Wow.
yep. Because if they had not agreed to it,
We would be able to negotiate.
this guy had already won the case,
The district
and he
court.
had won the appeal to it as well.
So it was
So
it was set
everyone
in stone.
agrees it's illegal, but they were like, we're just going to agree
But
to
it's
keep doing
good
it.
for us.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder what their argument legally is saying it's good for us.
I think actually, I don't know. I don't know what their argument was. I'll have to go back and look at it. Maybe it has
That's interesting.
something
Fun-
to do with protecting the veterans that are already playing. That's why they did the rookie wage scale reduction.
That makes sense, but I would like to hear the other one. The other one doesn't make sense to me. Having the power to negotiate out of college, like you said, should be as American as apple pie.
Maybe the theory is that the way that the draft works to try to ensure parity is good for all the players, and they're unsure that a different system where the teams that had the deepest pocketbooks paying all the players out of college would actually work in the long term
Sounds like,
for the good of the league.
well, yeah, that's what it sounds like. Is they're saying, if players have the leverage, that takes away a lot of our power.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like.
yeah, and it's tough to argue against how this has gone because wages have gone up so much in the NFL since this court case, where people that play in the NFL, they're a ton of millionaires are made every single year, and they're getting paid a lot of money to play the sport. You can make the argument that it's been very beneficial for players to have the NFL in its current state, but what we don't know is what that would
It
look
would've
like
been.
if back in 1970 that had gone a different way and there was no draft.
So coming out of college, I was undrafted, and
You did that as a protest against the draft.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know me, way ahead of my time.
Uh-huh.
But I had the option. So I had the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans. They were all like, "We want you to come to our training camp." And so it's like this marketing thing. So like the Saints were like, "How much are they paying you?" I was like, $5,000, and they were like, "Well, we'll pay you 10." And I was like, at the time, that money to me, I'd never seen 10 grand in my life. But that money to me was like, shit, it is. But I saw a better situation for myself in Houston, and it worked out well. But to that point, and to your point earlier, players might not take the money over the better situation for them.
Yeah.
In the past, so I don't know that this would work out better.
Yeah, like if you're a really good player and you know you're going to be great, if you're a good quarterback and you have the option to be drafted by, I don't know, what's a shitty team that's drafting this year? I don't want to say the Commanders.
Yeah, so you're decked out. You're decked out in they shit right now.
All right. I'm unbiased about this. If the Commanders were to offer Caleb Williams $50 million guaranteed, if I'm Caleb Williams and the Commanders offer me $50 million guaranteed, and let's say the Bears offer me $40 million guaranteed, would I rather go to a team like the Bears that had a better season last year, that might arguably be in a better place as a franchise than the Commanders are right now at this second? Would that $10 million make a difference? It might. That $10 million is a lot of money, but some players that are getting good deals in NIL that might already have some money in their bank, that might be like, you know what, I want to look out for my long-term success. And those are two terrible franchises, by the way, to use as an example in that. If you point to like the worst teams in terms of quarterback success in the NFL, I think those are probably them, and the Jets would probably be the big three that I'd look at. Maybe the Browns,
Texans.
Yeah, Texans.
Short, but
yeah. But if there was a team like, for example, if Brock Purdy didn't work out well and Trey Lance also didn't work out well, the 49ers are looking for a quarterback. I could see myself taking a lot less money to go play out there, having the opportunity, like, okay, higher chance of success playing for Kyle Shanahan than for Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn.
And also you negotiate the years of your contract as well, which could be extremely advantageous.
Yeah, so it's interesting that one moment right there was really the flashpoint, not just for the NFL, but for every single sport.
For back then, $260,000 that he won in today's money is $2.3 million.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of bread back then, dog.
Decent amount of money.
Yeah.
It's also kind of crazy that the draft happens, and then, like you, if you don't get drafted, you do get to negotiate with every team.
Yeah, you get to negotiate and you get to choose.
Yep. That happened. Actually, there was a recent example of that. It was, what was his name? Was it Smith from LSU? Excuse me, Lyle Collins. So this is a crazy example, but right before the
Was
NFL
he not
draft,
drafted?
he was supposed to be like a top 10, top 20 pick. He was a great offensive tackle in college at LSU. Like the week before the draft, it comes out that he's being investigated in a murder case.
God damn.
And it was a bad case. I think like a woman got killed. She might have been pregnant. I forget the exact details. But a woman died. He was brought in for questioning. The case, they had just started investigating it. Word got out, obviously, that this guy's involved in a murder case in some sort of capacity.
Right.
Every team was like, we're not going to touch him. We're taking him off our board because the last thing we want to do is draft a murderer, right?
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't be the first, but
it wouldn't be the first. But it ended up happening. The draft goes, he doesn't get drafted, and then he's completely exonerated in the case. Like, it was not him. He did not have anything to do with the murder whatsoever. He may have been like a material witness to somebody, but he didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
So now you've got a first-round talent that didn't get drafted because of shaky information or uncertainty at the time. So now he's going into camp as an undrafted free agent, and every team wants to try to sign him.
Oh, you can negotiate what you want.
And you can negotiate what you want. And so he signed with the Cowboys. I forget, what were the terms of that rookie deal for Lyle Collins? Let me look this up.
That's kind of lit right there.
3-year contract was worth $1.6 million.
Which is enormous for an undrafted.
It's unprecedented.
It's still a huge discount compared to what he could have gotten if he had been drafted. So there won't be any.
I wonder why he did 3 years, because usually the undrafted deals, like, standard is 2.
Yeah, probably because he was a little bit different from most undrafted guys. His circumstance.
Like, that's the goal: get to free agency as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Also, his agents apparently threatened he would sit out the season if any team drafted him after the 3rd round. So I think it came out
like as an insurance policy.
Yeah,
Like
I think it came out before that, like, he was cleared or whatever. And then they said he would sit out the season and enter the 2016 draft if a team took him after the 3rd round.
Yeah. So it was like it was an unfortunate situation for him to be in, but kind of gave a little glimpse as to like, okay, this is what a true first talent would look like if they were to, but obviously it would be more than that if there was no draft whatsoever.
Right.
It was just like every team drafted, so they had rookies that they had to pay a lot of money or a decent amount of money to, and then they had to figure out a way to add on.
I'm on board with a no draft. This is actually would be fire.
I didn't remember that story.
Yeah, fascinating, right?
What's his name?
La'el Collins.
La'el Collins.
Yep, and then he played for the Bengals. What team is he on now? Is he still on the Bengals?
He is on the Buffalo Bills as of this season.
Okay. All right. The Bills got him. So also in 2011, there was a brand new CBA, and they wanted to change what they wanted to implement a rookie wage scale because first overall quarterbacks were getting paid a shitload of money without ever having played in the NFL. And veterans were upset because they're like, hey, they haven't proven themselves. Why doesn't that money get spread around to the guys that are still that have been on the team and proven they can contribute? And the flashpoint was Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford got a rookie deal that was, I think, worth more than $70 million.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy money to give to a rookie that hasn't played yet.
That's socialism too, by the way. You're worth whatever someone's willing to pay you.
Yeah. Yeah, but the other players in the NFL.
Yeah, no, they're upset because I understand why.
Yeah.
But if you're worth whatever anyone's willing to give you.
And then Cam Newton got fucked by that because then he was a rookie and his deal was worth $50 million less than both Sam Bradford and Matt Stafford when they were rookies. So he got fucked by it. But I think most people agreed that under this system they need to do something to change.
Yeah.
Some crazy draft moments. Here's one I hadn't thought about in a while. The Vikings. Do you remember when the Vikings missed their pick?
No, I don't remember.
In 2003, the clock ran out on the Vikings. It was the 7th overall pick in the draft.
What the fuck? That mean they were arguing.
They were trying to make a trade to the Ravens. Smart move by the Ravens, by the way. Just like keeping them on the line. Be like, okay, hang on. I'm running back by my numbers guy. Wait. Just hang on one more second. Wait.
So what happens when he ran out? They just didn't get a pick?
So they were trying to move down to the 10th pick, and the Vikings called in the trade, but the league didn't execute the trade in time. Maybe they called it in too late. So in the meantime, the Jaguars and the Panthers were able to leapfrog Minnesota and take players before the Vikings who could get their pick in. And Minnesota ended up with Kevin Williams. They said that that's the guy they wanted all along. So they were happy about that. But yeah, people say that they missed their pick 2 years in a row. But in 2002, the Dallas Cowboys missed their pick at number 6. But the Vikings were too slow on the draw to jump the Cowboys. So what happened, it was kind of them missing their pick. But the Cowboys, the clock expired, but they still got it in before the Vikings did. So if a team takes too long, the next team after you can go ahead and make their pick. And if they submit it before you pick, then it's theirs.
I don't want to go off on a tangent, but that leads into a teed off that I not only have today, but have annually. Every single year on this day, which is actually tomorrow when the show comes out, but I have the same teed off. The team that is selecting first overall in the NFL draft should have 1 second to submit that pick. We sit there every fucking year, and 10 minutes goes by. You've had 4 months.
I agree with this.
4 months. It should have to be submitted
before
8 o'clock, whatever time the draft starts. It has to be in. You have 1 second, and the draft is. Goodell goes. The draft is open, and he should immediately.
Well, here's a question about that: Are they allowed to negotiate? Moving up or down or whatever.
Yeah, you could
before the draft.
Yeah, you can trade.
Okay, then you're right
as
then.
of January.
Yeah, but the notion that they have 10 minutes, there's guys in the war room just like rubbing their nose.
Outrageous.
Like, what am I
it's
going to
outrageous.
do? Who am I going to?
Every year we do this.
Forgetting to do any of the work on your assignment over the summer. And then
it's crazy.
You're on the bus on the way to school, and you're like, "Fuck, I got to write this book report real quick."
It makes me genuinely angry every single year.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why they take any time.
I mean, they're just like calling him and saying like, congratulations. Do that in the morning.
You're right. It should start with them booing Roger Goodell, and then the pick is in.
Instantaneously.
Got you.
This event already takes 4 hours. It's outrageous.
Oh, about that. There was a moment in the draft that I was in, right? Because I was supposed to go from like two to 4. But so when it was like the 7th round, I'm watching the draft still because, what they say and what, say it just changes your life, right? I forget who it was. One of the analysts, like, they've been there for 2 days. They're tired. I get that. But like as a kid that was going through it, it's just like, man, fuck this dude. I remember him saying, it was like 7th round and like they were just, it was you kind of dragging on. It's a long draft in the 7th round. And he goes, man, at this point, just throw a name at the board. And I just remember thinking, like, you motherfucker. Like, that shit was crazy. Go ahead.
And I mean, that particularly doesn't make sense in the NFL where undrafted guys become Pro Bowlers all the time. Like, 7th round picks in the NFL are very valuable.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you remember the Ricky Williams trade?
Was that,
It's Ditka.
It was Ditka. Okay,
yeah.
So Ditka gave the house for him, huh?
So it was the 1999 NFL draft. And Ditka wanted him, and he traded the entire draft class, every pick they had in the draft, plus 2 picks the following year to the Redskins to move up from the 12th to the 5th pick. So it gave the entire draft plus some. However, it's the trade that was not accepted that should be talked about a little bit more.
Okay.
So Ditka was so thirsty. He was pressed on Ricky Williams. He was so thirsty for Ricky. He was
nice now.
He was very, very good, yeah. He tried to move up to number 3 overall, and the Bengals had the 3rd pick that year. This is what Ditka offered them. Gave them the entire draft, plus a first-rounder in 2000, a first-rounder in 2001, and a second-rounder in 2002.
I'm taking that 10 times out of 10.
So 3 first-round picks and a second first-round pick, plus every other pick in the 1999 draft.
My man said, this is going to be the greatest football player of all time.
To move up from 12 to 3, and the Bengals said no, and then they drafted Achilles Smith instead at number 3.
Shout out to Dago. He's a Dago representative. That's I didn't know about that.
Yeah, pretty wild, right? And then Mike Ditka had that picture on the cover. I think it was ESPN the magazine, where it was him wearing a tuxedo.
Dress, yeah.
Ricky Williams wearing the wedding dress.
Craziest shit of all time.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Even retroactively, like knowing what you know now, how many players in the last 20 years would you trade an entire draft, another first?
There's a handful for sure.
Okay,
there are a couple.
Mahomes,
easily,
sure.
Tom Brady,
Peyton Manning.
Manning was definitely one of them.
But it's potentially.
I would do Barry Sanders. I would.
Yeah, but he
How
didn't
about a
win
guy
anything.
like Derrick Henry?
Not his fault.
Yeah, because
no chance.
You think they'd be able to put a good team around him with no draft picks?
Okay, I was selfishly
Just to watch.
I want to watch him.
Yeah, just to watch.
You know what I'm saying? These owners, like, we're their hobbies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you buy horses to watch them race.
Mm-hmm.
You care if they win, but I mean it's just a hobby.
But it's fun. Yeah,
I want to watch.
I think
Barry
who
Sanders.
did Billy say?
Derrick Henry.
No.
I think it has to be quarterbacks, and even
it does
then,
have to be quarterbacks.
there are only.
We're talking about in today's league, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, just since that happened,
Well,
say
then,
since '99.
Barry, I would do Barry Sanders back then. It was a running league back then. This is why Ditka sold the house. Running backs were way more valuable back then.
I'm trying to think who else.
But
LT might be in that conversation.
LT, absolutely. Reggie
I
White.
don't think so.
Reggie White. These are cornerstones that you can
for
build
sure.
around.
But like
You're
Chargers
suffering-
never won anything.
No, he was talking about the New York Giants. LT.
Lawrence
all right,
Taylor.
I assume-
Yeah, I was talking about.
Oh, so what were you
New
talking
York
about?
Giants,
Well,
But even then,
Yeah.
I don't think you can't do it for a defensive player. No chance.
I do think you can.
I
Well,
think
not in today's league, no. But back then, absolutely.
I think it also depends on what your motivation as an owner is. Like, if you're like Arian, you just want to watch the guy, then yeah, Barry Sanders. Yes,
Yeah.
I would probably do.
There was more teams back then won because of defense. Now people don't win because of defense. But back then, like the Bears defense, like their offense did not win that.
But that was a whole collection of Hall of Famers,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
not one guy.
You have to have a guy.
Okay, my point was, though, even with perfect information years later, there are only
There's a handful.
5-6 guys that you would even consider doing that for. And he did it for a running back
Yeah.
coming out of college.
Yeah, no, that's wild. Yeah.
So yeah, little small mistake by the Bengals by not accepting.
Yeah, that was wild. They could have. Their whole history could be different if they accept that trade.
Yeah, I mean that's what's kind of cool about draft day is that it does change like entire cities' futures and people's happiness for the next like 10 to 15 years. Like imagine how happy you would be if you were a fan of the team that drafted Mahomes, and that was just your guy, and you knew that you were just going to win multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah, my little nephew, he's been a fan of the Chiefs for years. Like whole family as we growing up, we was all Raider fans, and his dad liked the Chiefs, so like he was just like a super Chiefs fan. So this man is like on cloud nine because Chiefs is always in it.
Yeah. Your life is just so much better. If you were a Patriots fan starting in like 2000, I had this one guy that sent me a list of what his sports life has been like as like I think he was born in 92 or so. And over the course of his life, he's from Connecticut, so he's a UConn sports fan. Since he's from Connecticut, he's also the part of Connecticut that is New England sports fans. So you've gotten to see the Red Sox win multiple World Series. The Bruins got one. The Celtics got one.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots got all theirs. And then UConn men and women's basketball
Balling.
have won everything. Your entire life is just success.
There's Connecticut fans who are Yankee Patriots fans who are the worst.
Yeah.
Because in that time frame, I think you might be getting it wrong. If this guy was a Yankee fan in that time frame, he'd have a better
it was a Red Sox
championship run.
Yeah. So he would have had 3 World Series with the Jeter crew, right?
Yeah.
Jeter won
And then he
3,
would have
and then
09.
he got the 2009. And then how many of the Red Sox won since 2004?
4.
They won 4?
04, 07, 13, 18.
Okay.
Well, I think the Yankees had something. Wait, I think they had one before that. 96.
Well, they won in 96.
Oh,
but
well,
he
they
was
2000. Yeah,
4.
so they had 2009, 2000, 99, 98, 96. So that's 5.
So that's pretty good, yeah.
If I was alive and sentient in 1996, that would have broken me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going up 2-0 in Yankee Stadium and you lose, that's horrific.
Have I ever told you I was a Braves fan for a long time?
I feel like you've mentioned that a little.
Why?
Yeah, it's my first baseball team that I ever loved because I would spend
TBS probably.
I would spend most of my summers in North Carolina with my grandparents, and they loved the Braves. We watched every single Braves game, no matter what.
Lit.
And so I was in love with the team. I actually remember a little bit. They went from worst to first when they played against the Twins.
1991.
Yeah, I think I was 5 years old, and that was my first season watching baseball that I remember even a tiny little bit from. And they went worst to first. The Twins also went worst to first that season, and then they beat the Braves in the World Series.
They cheated in the World Series, correct?
Some people say that they cheated in the World Series. And then the Braves just dominated throughout the entire 90s, but then would get killed in the World Series.
Well, that's not entirely accurate.
Well, it felt like being
91, they should have won it.
7 games, Kirby Puckett. Yeah.
Right. 92, they lose to
The Phillies?
It's crazy. You weren't
Phillies,
even alive and you know this. This is insane.
The Phillies go to the World Series
they're
in
in
92?
the NL.
No, but the Phillies went to World Series against the Blue Jays, right? Was that 92?
No, the Braves lost to the Blue Jays in 92.
Okay.
Did the Blue Jays beat the Phillies in 93?
Yeah, the Joe Carter home
Right,
run.
so they lose to the Blue Jays in 92. 95, they win. 96, go up 2-0 on the...
Great World Series, by the way. 95
Yeah,
against
and that was the one...
I-words.
That was probably the one that they shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
Like, that Indians lineup was crazy. 96, go up 2-0 on the Yankees in New York and lose the next 4, which, again, if I had been on this planet for that, I might not have been much longer. And then 99, they lose to the Yankees again.
Mm-hmm.
They should have won 3. They should have won 91, 95, 96.
Yep. This is a tough run. Tough run. No one ever talks about the MLB draft either. But that's because you draft guys and then they have like 4 years to develop sometimes, 3 years to develop, work their way through the farm system.
Yeah, one of my
What's
good
crazy
buddies
is how
got
many
drafted
NFL
number
players
one.
been drafted in the MLB.
NFL players?
Yeah.
Yeah, they take a flyer on them sometimes.
Well, there used to be 40 rounds in the MLB draft. So the last like 15 rounds was kind of what Arian was talking about earlier. Like just throw a name. They would draft guys who like hadn't played baseball before.
Yeah.
And be like, maybe he'll sign. Like now it's 20. So that doesn't really happen as much. But they still do like the baseball draft is weird because the financials are so much different than everything else. So like.
It's also this is from a non-baseball fan. I feel as though baseball never ends. It's always on. Something's always happening with baseball.
It's half the year, same as football.
But see, as a casual fan, I just feel like it's always like I don't know when the season.
It's because it's on when nothing else is on.
That could be the case. I just like I know nothing about baseball, and it just feels like it's always on. And like, so I had a buddy who got drafted number 1 overall in 2004 out of high school, Matt Bush. And I don't know, it just feels I'm so disconnected from baseball. It just feels like I can't get into it because maybe I never have. And so I feel like I'm just so far behind the 8 ball that I'm like nervous to get into because I like going to games, but like I just don't know if I have it in me to.
Let me give you a crash course.
My man's gonna put the floaties on me in the baseball fandom.
Yeah. Baseball is, first of all, if you don't like baseball and you're a sports fan, like June to September is just, what are you doing? What do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
golf.
Right. Baseball's the best, but as like the baseball draft, I follow the baseball draft, like because I pay.
How many rounds are there?
20 now.
Oh my god!
It used to be 40.
It used to be 40.
You're
Yeah.
a psycho for following.
That's
that.
Because I watch college baseball, so I know who's good in college and stuff. High school, obviously, you hear a couple names, but like
shit.
I don't really know.
You watch a lot of sports.
Yeah. But so like, and I know
20 rounds is wild to follow though.
Well, I'm not, locked in on the 17th round of the MLB draft, but I know who in college is going to get drafted, whatever.
Gotcha.
But even as someone who does that, I don't understand the financial model of the MLB draft.
Mm-hmm.
It's so convoluted and weird, and like it's a whole.
All right, simplify it.
So every team,
because you fixed NIL. I've heard you.
Many
say that.
people have had very similar ideas to what I said.
No,
but
right.
So the baseball draft is every team has a pool of money, basically, that you can allot how you'd like. Each draft pick has an assigned value to it. So let's say the number 1 overall pick is worth $4 million. Teams will sometimes, not often with the number 1 overall pick, but other picks in the first round and later. If the pick is worth $4 million, you'll take a guy who maybe you'll sign someone for 2.7 who maybe wouldn't have gone number 1 overall otherwise. And you'll take maybe a worse player there to be able to have the rest of that money later in the draft to use on maybe a high school kid who has told you he probably wants to go to college. But if you say we're going to draft you 62nd overall, where the value is $600,000, but we're going to give you 1.3. And so now you can maybe sign that guy later in the draft. It's a whole, and even that, I don't know if I'm explaining 100% correctly, but it's a whole deal.
It's very convoluted.
Yeah, and then there's the added aspect of you're drafting high school and college guys. The high school guys can go to, and then you'll have guys who are incredible in college. Say there's a college senior, they hit 370 their senior year, but they have no leverage to do anything. They have to take, so they get like $1,000 signing bonus and then get sent to single A. Whereas if you're a junior, you can say, well, if you don't give me what I want, I'll just go back to school. So it's a whole thing.
So high school guys are always in it, like you can put your name in it. And
you can, in MLB, you can be drafted after your senior year of high school, or you can go to college. If you go to college, you have to stay for at least 3 years or until you're 21. So some guys, it's only 2.
Gotcha.
But so, and then you can be drafted again. So there are some guys who could be drafted 4 times after your senior year of high school, if you turn 21 after your sophomore year, junior year, senior year.
I got a couple of weird stories here about the NHL draft.
And that one is even more convoluted than
Oh,
baseball.
hockey is so weird.
Yeah. So in 1974, there were 18 teams in the NHL. And the amateur draft had no set duration, so they lasted until every team was done choosing players. And they'd be like, okay, we can't name any more players that we want to do, so I guess we're done here. So in the 11th round, the Sabres general manager, he was a guy named Imlach. His name was Punch Imlach. And he was bored. And he selected a center from the Tokyo Katanas of the Japanese Ice Hockey League named Taro Sugimoto.
What a name.
The problem with that was that the Katanas were not a real team and Sugimoto did not exist.
Oh, wow.
They drafted an imaginary player because he couldn't name any other players, so he just made one up.
Fuck.
So there was no international scouting, and everyone in the hockey world thought that Sugimoto was a real player. And then the GM of the Sabres came clean and admitted that it was a prank, and the league had to change the pick to an invalid claim in their official record books.
The fuck?
You know
In
what was wild I saw the other day?
What's up?
Thailand beat Kuwait in hockey 121-1.
That is a
Wow.
crazy score. How'd that happen?
I guess they were playing some international league play of some sort, and like Thailand just put up 100. That has to be historically the highest scoring game of all time.
It's definitely one of the biggest blowouts, I would assume.
You watch hockey like that, Big T?
Only the Preds.
Got you.
Like, I watch most Preds games, but I don't really follow. Like, the Eastern Conference of the NHL, couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Got you.
Okay, it was actually 57-0.
That's
It's pretty close.
it's an important shutout too. I like that they kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, I don't know how the Asian and Oceania Championship. It was
And that was a
U18.
championship?
Yeah, it was a championship. I
Kuwait
didn't know
was the second
Thailand
best?
was that good, and why wouldn't Russia? Well, actually,
Oceania.
yeah, Oceania or Oceania.
Oceania, but that also doesn't Kuwait is not. I don't know. That sounds like a subsection of the Asian Games. In the NHL, also in 1991, the Quebec Nordiques picked Eric Lindros with the first pick. Lindros didn't want to be drafted by Quebec. He didn't put the jersey on, and he was a holdout for the season. Then they struck a deal, traded him to the Flyers, $15 million in cash, 2 first-round picks, and yeah, that was the original version of pulling like an Eli Manning, or I guess John Elway tried to do a power play like that too. Florida Panthers tried to draft Alex Ovechkin 1 year early. It was a year prior to the Caps picking Ovechkin. The Florida Panthers and their GM tried on multiple occasions to draft the Russian star in 2003. He was born September 17th, 1985, 2 days after the cutoff date for eligibility in the draft. And then Dudley made a pitch to the league that if you took into account leap years, Ovechkin should be eligible. That's a hell of an argument to make.
How does that?
So-
I believe that is taking into account leap years.
But if you subtract, I guess, the leap year days,
okay, but
they're
then,
saying that over the course of his life, he's had like 4 extra days because of leap days.
right, but if you take those away, you would just add a quarter of a day to every year, and it would be exactly the same.
I don't know how that works.
We have a leap
Was
day.
he born on leap day?
No, he was born September 17th, 2 days after the cutoff date. So the premise by the Panthers was he's lived for however many years, that would be 23 years. So he's experienced 4 leap days in his life. Or I guess more than that, right?
So it's-
five leap days. And
That
so
was a
he's
good
actually
shot.
he's actually born 3 days before the cutoff date, not 2 days after.
But we have
that's
leap day
genius
to
brain.
avoid having a quarter of a day every year, so that would just you would just switch it.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, I guess.
It's worth a shot.
For Alex Ovechkin, yeah, probably.
Yeah, for Ovechkin, yeah. I mean, it didn't hurt him.
True.
I don't know who came up with that. Like, who's the guy in the war room?
Yeah, it's a genius guy. In 1987, the Mariners had the number 1 pick in the MLB draft, and they wanted to draft a guy named Ken Griffey Jr.
Solid pick.
Except the owner preferred the security of college players, and he wanted Mike Harkey. He was an All-American right-hander from Cal State Fullerton, and the owner wanted that guy, not Ken Griffey Jr. The scouting director and the general manager continued to make their case for Griffey, but the owner was convinced that at one point a Mariners official called Harkey and said, "Congrats, we're going to take you number 1 overall." But when the draft got closer, the director of scouting for the Mariners got desperate, and he called the area scout into his office and asked him for a favor: change your report on Griffey to give him extra points to break the tie with Harkey, because they had them tied, and the owner wanted the college player. And so then the area scout changed his report, called Ken Griffey Jr. once in a generation, and the owner was like, "Okay, if he's beating this guy by 2 extra points, then I guess I'll go with you guys and I'll draft Ken Griffey Jr. instead." Yeah.
Stay out of it. Like, that would be the Jerry Jones type shit.
Yeah.
Stay out of it if you don't know.
I disagree with that. If I spent $2 billion on a sports team, I'm running that bitch.
Well, shout out to Jerry Jones.
But you gonna know.
Jerry Jones also watches tape. He's the GM.
Yeah, I might have been an example. But it's like,
well, no, Jerry Jones does suck as a GM for the most part.
I'm saying is, like, you as an owner would be fired because you care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is true.
If an owner doesn't pull a trigger on a dude because of a scouting report that gives 2 points of a nod over to the, well, I guess you got me there. Like no, I've seen both these dudes' tapes. I know it. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, no, either do it or don't. I agree.
Yeah.
But like, if I spent that much money, like Mark Cuban cared and like
great owner,
was good at.
I think he's a great owner.
He was great.
Yeah. Which, if I'm an owner, I'm sitting in the front row of every fucking game.
Absolutely.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yes.
Have a hot dog.
Have you seen
bratwurst
Steve Ballmer
there?
watching the Clippers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd be yelling.
He's
this
a
shit.
madman.
Yeah, he'd be yelling,
and that's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, I love that shit.
I would do that too. I would be. I think we
be the biggest fan.
We shit on Jerry Jones a little bit because he's a weird guy and he's eccentric, and his teams always have these expectations that they don't live up to. But we should give credit to Jerry Jones for being, like, in terms of team owners and their ability to also be general managers,
one of the better ones. Yeah.
That's probably as good as you can hope that some random oil billionaire would do, managing an NFL team, right? Like, the teams,
I think he had early success, and that's what the issue is.
they get to the playoffs. They're, like, usually in the discussion. They're always relevant.
They're really not.
But they're always in.
They're not. They're in the discussion because that's America's team. They're not in the discussion because they're good.
Yeah, I mean, they were flawed last year, but they've
been solid the last few years.
They have been very average team.
But
that's solid.
Like, over the last,
they've been better than average.
20 years.
When you take into account
how many playoff appearances have they had in like 20 years?
Hang on.
When you take into account the fact that their owner is not, like, he didn't grow up as a scout, he didn't have that background, he just kind of bought the team and he was like, I'm going to be the GM of this team now. He's done pretty well. If you compare him to other GMs, definitely not as good.
Sure.
But for a guy with no background in scouting.
What is the qualifications? Like, what is the qualifications for being a GM? Because I'd be looking at some of these GM hires and I'm like, how? Like, what are the metrics that they use to hire a GM?
I think usually it's a scout, like somebody that's worked their way up the scouting department.
Okay.
Probably somebody that now has a pretty good understanding of math and the salary cap, although they do have cap
They have
guys.
salary cap guys, yeah.
But you still have to have, like, an understanding. I think you have to be super organized to be a GM.
Oh.
You have to be,
Disqualifies me.
Yeah, me too. I would just be like, that guy can throw the phone.
I would just hire somebody to be organized for me.
Yeah. This is my spreadsheet guy.
Yeah, this is my guy.
I just looked up, just as an example, Alex Anthopoulos, who's the Braves GM. In 2000, Anthopoulos was hired by the Montreal Expos as an unpaid intern and worked in sorting players' fan mail. After working in the mailroom, he would sit with scouts at games and take notes, and was eventually moved to a scouting internship in Florida. 2002, he was promoted to the Expos scouting coordinator. Then he was hired as the Blue Jays scouting coordinator, and in 2005 was promoted to assistant GM of the Blue Jays, and then eventually became the Blue Jays GM. So, sort mail.
There's a lot of people that get hired by working their way up through mailrooms. I don't know any companies that have mailrooms.
There's still mailrooms.
Never worked at a company that had a mailroom.
I've never.
Actually, you can make the argument that
this is like technically
most
my
rooms
first job
at Barstool Sports have mailrooms.
Didn't we?
Spelled
Yeah,
different.
the New York office has a the New York office has a mailroom.
Do they?
It's like that back corner near the producers. They would just throw packages in there.
No, we just have a series of hallways that.
Yeah.
We just have
that
closets
boxes-
we throw shit
yeah.
in.
I think it was technically like called the mail package room, but there was no one organizing it for sure.
Yeah, there's no
No,
sorting.
Enrique and Ebony.
But it was still like
Yeah.
a
They weren't
disaster. You couldn't
mailroom
find anything there.
sorters. They were office managers, so I think it's a bit different.
Yeah. But you always hear about guys working their way up through the mailroom.
Are there mailrooms like still happening?
No,
Like
I don't think so.
It's just all email.
I maybe some of those like legal offices
You own a house.
in New York. I do. Thank you.
Yeah, stunt. I cannot stand mail. It is fucking dog. Why do people still send things?
You never check your mail.
No,
Dude.
the other day I did, and it was fucking stacked, and I'm just like, now I gotta go through all this trash because like I might have like a ticket or I might have like a something. It's just stop
Arian.
with the paper, bro.
Arian, you want to stop with the paper? Have you ever been hit with something like this?
Nope, have not.
That's too much paper.
I did get served though.
Lawsuits are killing trees. So they should be illegal.
Yes, court systems in
This is
general have way
ridiculous.
too much paper.
Billy's going to become an environmentalist from getting sued.
What is all? I mean, what have you read it all?
Tried. No, I actually scanned it and then I used like
Are you getting sued?
I'm going to my day in courts tomorrow. I'm kind of stressed about it. Hopefully we don't get financial penalties. I'm sort of still trying to figure out what exactly it means. I think it's just if they get us off the ballot, we're gone.
Are they going
but
to
hopefully-
determine that tomorrow?
I think the decision's coming out by next week or Friday. We're figuring it out. But let's see what happens. I mean, it's a lot of we're going through signatures right now. It's a lot of work, but we're gonna pull through. And if we pull through here, we're out the gate. So
You're on the ballot.
yeah,
Good luck.
thank you.
Good luck. Godspeed.
Also,
Yeah.
if you are a college football coach with a school with a great foreign student center and foreign student relations center, please DM me, Billy Hot Takes, twitter.com, or email me, billyfootball@barstoolsports.com. I have some tape and I have some transcripts of two guys who I think could really impact your program and definitely be the hardest workers on the team. I have their highlight tapes, Steven Kanyera and Ashraf Ozgi, and they're great guys. I'll get you their tapes. I'm going to post their tapes soon. We got them filling out some applications, some small D3 spots across the country. If you're interested, but only if you have a really good foreign students affairs center, definitely reach out.
These are Ugandan football players.
Yeah. And they play damn hard.
All right.
Oh.
If you're working with a football program, let Billy know, please.
And watch the last episode of Last Chance Uganda and buy a t-shirt if you want to support growing football in Uganda. I might just, if I get stopped off the ballot tomorrow in court, I might just take my whole campaign, finance, all the funds in it, and just donate it to Ugandan football.
Okay.
If there's any left, but there might be nothing left.
Okay. Sounds like a good use.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed the series. It's one of the best things that I think we've ever put out. You and Donnie over there was gold. All right. That's all I got here on the list of draft shit. I'm excited to see Goodell come out and pretend to enjoy getting booed tonight. That's always fun. Somebody at some point told him, like, hey, maybe just lean into it and have fun with the booze, Goodell. And he's so bad at having fun with the booze. David Stern had fun with the booze because David Stern hated the fans booing him. And he was outwardly combative to him. He was like, come on, bring it on, fuckers. Like, he was pissed at the fans. Goodell was like, oh, I'm just going to have fun with it and try to lean into it a little bit. Give me a fucking break. He's a dorky robot. David Stern was actually like an evil genius that understood every aspect of how to make money in a sports league. And he was just pissed off at the fans. So he'd like flip them off and be like, fuck you. It's great. I miss David Stern.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Did people like Paul Tagliabue?
Tagliabue? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they for the most part liked him, which like when
I think the NBA does a great job.
like listening to the fans,
listening to the fans,
players.
marketing the players. I think they have a great league.
Yeah, I mean the playoffs have been hit or miss so far this year, but they have it feels like a friendlier relationship with the players than the NFL does, and that's probably because the players in the NBA have so much more leverage than NFL players, so they have to like play nice with them.
That's by design.
Yeah,
the NFL could do the same thing, but they don't want to let them have that leverage. Is it me, or does it, a little bit off topic, but does it feel like watching the NBA? It's like I've had my heroes retire. I've had my heroes, whatever the case may be. But does it feel like this playoff run is like the last like run of our generational superstars that are about to fade away? LeBron, Steph,
KD's kind of getting cooked.
Like everybody, like this is like the last before the next generation comes up. This is
fully takes Steph Curry.
This is it. This is the end of like an era, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the end, kind of the end of the Steph Curry, KD, LeBron. Who else out there? Those are really like the big ones.
Those are the biggest like superstars that the game has ever seen.
Yeah, Kyrie to a certain extent. Although Kyrie's still nasty, he's still really good.
I do think if you told me 6-7 years ago, like when KD and LeBron are on the retirement's doorstep, that I would not have anticipated there being as many genuine stars as there still are. Luka, Jokic, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Tatum.
Man, but are they of that caliber?
I
mean, they're not LeBron James, but those are like incredible players.
No, yeah, I don't want to take anything.
I think Jokic could be.
See, and I would argue differently. I would say that Luka is. Luka's exciting to watch. To me, Joker's not exciting to watch.
But he is disgusting.
He gets it done. Like he gets it done. Like we used to have this conversation. He's like top 5 centers of all time in my opinion. But he's just like not fun to watch like that.
Well, because he's just huge.
By the way, did you see his brother catch that dude and he just
punched
ate
the
it?
guy in the face. Yeah.
Why?
That made the brother look bad, dude. You had a clean clock on the guy and he ate it.
Yeah, he's a big dude that was throwing that punch too. Like Jokic's brothers are huge, and the guy just took the punch to the face and was like, fuck. Okay, but I'm still standing, so that's good.
Why'd you punch him?
Don't know. They were in some sort of argument right after the game, right after game 2. It was in the stands. It was crazy, and somebody got
the brothers get in arguments fairly often.
Yeah,
ain't they like part of some like gang or some shit?
No. We don't want to say that. Don't want to say that. They're very
dirt on you, cuz?
They're very intimidating. I'm terrified of them. They're very intimidating guys.
Their whole
OJ's
country's
gone.
a
That's
gang.
one less problem for you to worry about.
Exactly. I feel pretty happy about that. Very happy about that. But yeah, Jokic he's just filthy nasty.
Yeah, no, I don't want to make
He's fun to watch. I think.
Yes, yeah, I don't think it's fun to watch. It's like
Wimby is going to be another guy.
It's like it's like he falls in slow motion.
Yeah.
Like that's just Jokic to me. It's like falling in slow motion.
Have you seen the video
Gracefully.
on Twitter? It's like team plays 23 seconds of perfect defense, and then it's like Jokic, and it's the guy doing, I don't know what it is, but like comes all the way back with the ball and like flings it, and I'll find the video. It's hard to explain.
Oh, is it like guy throwing a soccer inbound?
Yep.
It's similar to that.
That's how he shoots sometimes too.
Yeah.
I got to get going, guys. Got to get to the airport like right now. So I have to drive away. Do you guys want
to your other wife?
Do you guys want to finish up the show? And then, Billy, can you do one ad read for 2K, Top Spin 2K?
Yep.
And you guys just finish talking about whatever. But if I don't leave now, I'm going to be late for the flight. So I got to hit the road.
Enjoy your other kids.
I will. All right. Love you guys.
Yeah, you got another family?
Yeah. Secret family.
That's what's up.
I'm a serial polygamist. Serial monogamous. My monogamy time's over with you guys right now.
Yeah, that's facts.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, dog.
And before we get into the rest of the show, this show is sponsored by Top Spin 2K. Experience the entire world of tennis in a game. The authenticity of pros from Serena and Federer to Alcaraz and Osaka. All 4 Grand Slams, a deep My Career and My Player experience in the top brands in tennis apparel and equipment. The most accessible and fun sports, easy to pick up and play with basic controls, but offering deep gameplay mechanics for the hardcore player. The McEnroe VO'd Top Spin Academy provides a tutorial for players of all experience levels. It's also a truly social sports experience, local and online multiplayer offerings, including the World Tour and 2K Tour, with ranked and unranked matchmaking, leaderboards, and daily, weekly, and monthly challenges. Personalize your My Player. Create a My Player tailored to your play style and define your look on the court. With a wide range of customization options, you can fine-tune your attributes and earn new coaches, fittings, and gear from Adidas, Head, Lacoste, New Balance, Nike, Wilson, and more. Pick up the Deluxe and Grand Slam Edition today.
All right, that wraps up today's draft episode. Unless anybody wants to get anything else. Everybody good? Anything off your chest? Anybody want to
I got my teed off out of the way.
confess anything? We're good. Good to know.
Arian,
All right,
we have to figure out when we're gonna do our extra show.
that's true. So we were drinking in a bar,
Yes.
talking about the extra show.
We were.
Hey, that dude that originally sparked that conversation, he blocked me.
Really?
Because we were talking shit in our DMs. I hope he's listening to this too.
It's
The fact you do that is crazy.
It's because me and Madeline
I
threw him
like
the finger.
Twitter. I like Twitter, and I like talking to people because it's not just I don't respond just to negativity. I respond to positive people. I've had like people. We're going to San Diego because the dude DM'd me. Like I read my DMs. I do. I think it's a great tool to reach out to people who have like great connections and stuff like that. But every now and then there's an asshole that talks shit, and I like to talk shit, so I talk shit back. And it'll be like, I'm watching a game or something, and I'll pop shit back. So that motherfucker, he blocked me, and he got the last word in before he blocked me, which is cowardly, sucker. But he started like under the threads. Y'all can find him too. He started like saying all this crazy shit, right? And then, so I just DM'd him back. I was like, yo, cut all the shit, run up on me, like what's happening? And then he was like, clown, blah 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 blah. I will one day. I'm like, I'm sure you will, dog. I'm sure
Sperry
you will.
word.
Yeah, he's definitely a Sperry wearer, bro. Fuck that dude.
Are Sperry's
I hope you
still
still
in?
listen. I don't know. That's
I
just
saw a
that's how
trend.
I envision.
No,
White folks.
it's a good like term to use.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I haven't. Maybe it's because I've aged out of them. I never wore them,
My
but I
man's
knew
aged
people
out
who
of
did.
Sperry's.
But I knew people
They
who
were
did.
actually really dope shoes because like they're really versatile. You could wear them casually. You could wear them like in a business setting.
Never
I liked
thought Arian would be
Sperry's.
defending Sperry's.
I
know, that's
never
crazy.
knew. I never heard of Sperry's until I went to Tennessee. And then every
that adds
white
up.
dude with a comb over and a polo
Oh,
had
yeah.
Sperry's on. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this is a thing. And so I seen them. I was like, yo, those are dope shoes. I just like I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's an obvious demographic for Sperry wearers. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? Yeah.
Oh, I stopped wearing Sperry's because they don't make my size.
You got
I
some
used
thumpers?
to love Sperry's.
I stopped wearing them when I left high school.
What
and I
size you
didn't
wearing?
wear a uniform anymore.
14s.
Yeah, you got some thumpers, bro.
That's
why-
light work.
Yeah, you got some
bad
thumpers
footwork.
too.
That's
Yeah,
light
you
work.
got some big ass feet, dog. Yeah, you got some boats.
Facts.
Yeah, you got some yachts.
Not
on your
not enough boat shoes for those boats.
Oh,
Look
no,
at
wait, they
that
do
shit,
make my
bro.
size now.
Holy
That's insane.
shit!
Wait,
My whole arm would fit in that.
Crazy.
Mackenzie could sleep in that.
That's
Yeah.
facts. You cut the
Like a
top
little
off like you
sleeping
put a
bag.
little infant in there.
Comfortable.
Those are the Magic Fruity Pebble LeBrons. Great shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite shoe of all time?
Basketball shoe or regular?
I mean,
shoe?
we're not talking about.
I loved the Hyper Dunks in like 2013 or 14. They had the swoosh like on the toe.
Hyper Dunks.
Those were amazing. In terms of like a player's shoe, it's hard to say this is my favorite because I never had them. But when the first Steph Curry shoe came out,
That's horrible.
okay. But listen, let me explain.
What the fuck?
Let me explain.
You may be the only person on the planet. Except
Are you
for him.
gonna let me finish?
Yeah, I just wanted to get my jokes off though.
All right.
One more.
When the
What the
first
fuck?
when the first Steph shoe came out, it was in a Sour Patch Kids colorway, and I fucking love Sour Patch Kids, and I was like, holy fuck, I
Cuz
have
this
to have
shit-
that shoe. It was only because of the Sour Patch,
Bruh.
but they didn't make them. They only made them up to like a 12 or 13 or something.
This may be one of the worst shoes of all time.
I wanted it because of the Sour Patch, and at the time, Steph was like the coolest dude in the league.
He still is. He's dope as shit.
Yeah.
His shoe sucks though.
It wasn't a great looking shoe, but I wanted it because of the Sour Patch. I'm trying to think of other ones.
I
Dude,
was
the
with
2012 Hyper Dunk.
I was with Under Armour, right? So I was signed. They endorsed me, right? And we got like, I think yearly we got like $50,000 worth of like free gear. So
That
like,
rocks.
yeah, you would put like, I just didn't like Under Armour though. And so like my family to this day still wears Under Armour gear, like decked out in Under Armour shit, because I used to give them my code and I was like, y'all just do what y'all gotta do.
I love Under Armour. They have a plant in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. We support American businesses.
I think now their stuff is a little better, but I'm just not. I think as you age, like certain things become authentic to you. And so because this is such a new product to me still, it's just like it doesn't feel it feels like it wants to be Nike. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel as genuine as like a Nike or even a Reebok.
The KD6 I really liked.
Let me see.
That's similar to the Hyperdunk. The swoosh is in like the same place but has the KD on the back.
You're talking about all time? You're not going with none of the classics, huh?
I mean, these are like when I was a kid.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, you know, all the yours are going to be different.
They are going to be different. Yeah.
Like, I was never huge into Jordans. I have a couple pairs of Jordans, but like, and I would never wear those to play basketball either.
No, nobody does. Well, I mean,
you wore them to play golf yesterday.
What?
Jordans.
Yeah, they're golf shoes. He makes golf shoes.
Are those golf shoes?
Yeah, they're golf shoes.
Oh, I thought those were just regular Jordans.
No, you thought I was out there just being a hooligan?
Yes.
No.
I did. I almost brought it up a couple times.
Nah, the Jordan makes he has 1s, he has 11s, he has 12s.
So do those have like golf spikes on them?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, well that makes sense.
Thought I was out there just in some Timbs. Here, the best basketball shoe of all time, in my opinion. Drum roll, please. The Jordan 11s, dog.
I do like the 11s.
Just a fucking gorgeous shoe.
I have a pair of
gorgeous
1s
shoe.
and 4s.
Let's see. Allen Iverson 1s. So the questions. No, those would be the answers.
What brand was AI?
He was Reebok. So them. That may be more nostalgia, but that is a classic shoe.
Older ones that I would have, like, had I been around, I would have loved, and I do love, the Adidas Kobe's, the Crazy 8s.
Those were whack to me when they came out, but as I've aged, I like them.
Yeah, I think
and maybe it's
really
just because of a Kobe thing. But, yeah, as I've aged, this is one of the best shoe pictures of all time.
That's
it's
sick.
Allen Iverson going against Michael Jordan. AI is wearing his first one, the questions, and Jordan's wearing the 12s. Red and white. Ooh, that shit is cold. I'm gonna send it to the group chat. Hard.
Also, not a basketball shoe, and not. Well, he's rehabilitated himself. When I was a little kid, the coolest. I wanted this pair of shoes more than anything in the world. Nike made a like Michael Vick trainer.
He said he's rehabilitated himself.
Yeah, no, he's better. And it was Falcons colors. It was like red, black, and white.
Yeah.
And it was the
Michael Vick experience.
Oh, one of the greatest sports commercials ever.
Agreed.
Outstanding commercial. But I don't remember if it was for Christmas or my birthday, but I got them, and it was like the sickest thing ever.
Yeah, those were
shoes.
fire. What was dope about those, that was when football had like AstroTurf.
Mm-hmm.
So like the shoes can correlate to like regular everyday shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Walk me down my youth right there. Oh, the Jason Kids. The Jason Kidd ones, the pennies. I think me and PFT had that conversation a while back. I used to circle from East Bay magazines. Scottie Pippen had criminally underrated shoes.
I didn't know he had any.
Oh, yeah, dog. You know the Jones with the air on the side?
Yeah.
Them Pippins. Or Barclays. Those Barclays. I think they're Pippins. Pippen shoes.
What was it, Nike?
Yeah, it was with Nike. Yeah, yep. Boom. See them. Pippins.
Click on it more.
Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what. Okay, I didn't know.
So
okay,
the up tempos for people listening.
I did not know that was
the
Penny.
up tempos, and then no, those are Pippen.
Pippen. Yeah.
And then these Jones were fired too. The what are those called? The Pippen One Work, I guess. Hard.
Yeah, I didn't know he
Yeah,
ever
he
had
had
any.
he had some fire shoes.
LeBron 11s I liked as well.
I've never had a LeBron shoe that I fucked with, dog.
So
Not one.
like those are LeBrons. I
Yeah.
really like LeBrons because they're tanks, which for my
Yeah.
feet and ankles.
Dude, I broke
want.
my ankle in LeBron's. And I'll
Well, that's
never
that.
wear them
Yeah,
again.
I have a pair of LeBrons that I hooped in, and they're very narrow. They're very narrow, and I have a wide foot. And so to me, KD makes the best basketball shoes outside of Kobe. Kobe don't make them no more, obviously, but Kobe had the best basketball shoes that fit my feet.
I just like these because it's got these back here. It's got two. Your ankle's going nowhere, and I mean it's a
Which
tank.
LeBrons are those?
I don't know what number, but they're the Fruity Pebble ones. It's got Fred Flint. Look at this. This is actually sick.
Got
So
him all
this
hyped.
one has Fred Flintstone on the inside, and this one has LeBron as a Fruity Pebbles, as a Flintstone character.
That's kind of lit. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna lie. That's kind of lit. Yeah. I would say
Those are the ones I usually
That's-
play in here.
that's one of the most. That's an enigma to me. LeBron is like one of the greatest athletes of all time, and to me, never had like a signature shoe that like stood out.
Some of his just got so wacky.
That's what I'm saying. It's
that,
like when you think of Jordan, you think of boom. You think of Iverson, you
Right.
think of boom. You think of like, you know what I'm saying? There's these iconic shoes that like were staples, and you're with the biggest shoe brand of all time, and you have not had one shoe that was like stuck. Like shoe culture is like gonna go on and talk about and line
Yeah.
up for and resell and And I'm not even a shoe dude like that. I wear Chucks all day.
I think the
And
11s were probably the best LeBron. I am fired up for the Wemby shoe whenever that comes
Well,
out.
who he with?
Nike. Did you not see the logo they came out with?
Nah,
for
let
him?
me
Google
see.
Nike Wemby logo. It's perfect.
He said it's perfect.
It's so good.
Is that an alien?
Yeah.
Lit.
And the
I'm
video
in.
that they
Oh,
revealed it
I'm in.
in, they did the like crop circles.
That's fire, dog.
It's so cool.
I fuck with that, cuz.
I don't care what the shoe looks like, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I like that shit.
Don't buy the LeBron Witness 6. They will break your ankle.
You just trash at basketball.
Well, those
No,
shoes
dude,
are also like how old? 20 years?
I don't know. LeBron Witness 6? Let me check. I
Nah,
thought they
bro,
were
that
newer.
Wemby logo fire, dog. I fuck with that heavy.
Yeah, no, his shoes are going to be awesome.
Kyrie makes some dope shoes too, though. All right, that's shoe talk. What are you gonna name this episode, ladies?
That's
Something to do with the draft.
yeah. We'll do
History of sports
on the
draft.
draft.
something
Sports
like that.
ball talk.
Yeah. That peek behind the curtains. Me and Mackenzie spend about 10 minutes talking about that every time.
Love
and we're
that.
like, well, is it weird if we say?
Got you. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That wraps up Macrodosing for today. Like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. And to that dude that was talking shit to me in my DMs, I will fly you out to beat your ass. Let me know, fam.
Rough and rowdy, bro. Rough and rowdy him.
Nah, I'm gonna beat him illegally.
No,
Fuck
but
that
then you'll
shit.
get paid.
If he comes to my doorstep and touches me, I'm gonna beat his ass, and that's legal because you're on my property. Fair game too.
Love it.
Free knuckle boxing, homie.
Oh, Mutual Combat State, Texas.
That's what's up. Come. And I ain't gonna press no charges. I was gonna beat your ass and let you lay it on my front yard and find your way back. Do your thing. I love everybody else though. Love y'all, man. Keep
Ditto.
keep doing y'all's thing, man.
Thanks
Much
for
love.
all the support, fam.
Yeah, stop supporting Billy for running for Congress. Peace. See y'all next week.